at that.
Ooh, yes. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, there.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Show today, coming to you from the monthly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In out here at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurant on the Grand Parkway in Katy, Texas.
Woohoo!
We'll talk to a few of the participants in today's Cruise-In. We'll take a look at the events calendar. Mr. Mars reviews the 2021 Cadillac Escalade. Some people refer to it as the Escalade. I don't.
I just call it Cadillac.
And we'll have this week's Auto News headlines. It's all just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars.
He's out
We
there.
need more Jeff Zekin.
Hello.
And a special appearance by none other than Jeff Heitzman himself. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday morning.
Now, when you said you need
You
more
can
Jeff,
fade the music now.
when you need more Jeff, we got two Jeffs.
We do have two Jeffs.
Next week we'll
so
have
Jeff
three
Heitzman,
Jeffs.
I wanted to give you just a little brief history on our engineer today because obviously Mr. Ainsley is out. He is winging his way to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan,
There
the
you
UP
go.
as they call it.
The UP.
And then Conrad is appropriately enough winging his way to California.
Yeah, West Coast.
And that's where he is from and needs to be from and
Well, he's-
wants to live there and wants to
Conrad
be
is from
part
a lot
of
of
it.
places. He's,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
from a lot of places. And he's,
So at any rate, neither one of those are those participants usually on this program are not here with us today. So Jeff Heitzman is a big fan of the show and has been a loyal follower for a long time. Mr. Heitzman and I go back a number of years, quite a number of years actually. Jeff worked with me at KPRC Radio as a weekend board operator and voice talent there.
Great.
Did lots of commercials for me and that sort of thing. And so Mr. Heitzman called this week and said, hey, man, I know that you're kind of running short. You need some help? I said, absolutely, we need some help.
Whether we're running short or not, we need.
We need a lot of help. We need a lot of mental help.
there you go.
So at any rate, Mr. Heitzman is over here twisting the knobs and sliding the faders.
Oh.
You got a manicure for this?
I don't know.
He
Or
did
a
not get a
He
pedicure.
did
No,
not get a
that's
pedicure.
that's strictly Conrad's thing.
Yeah, that is.
As sick as
Well,
that
speaking
may
of,
be.
I've got a little 3-day beard growth in honor of Conrad. I
Do
did
you?
it on purpose
Really?
because he's got a little beard action. So I did that in honor of Conrad. It's all coming off probably later. But.
So we are here at the Lupi Tortilla monthly cruise-in, as I mentioned in the open. This is a cruise-in that has grown in popularity immensely. And, we've had some weather threats here of late. And
Well, we always get
one or
threats.
two of them have been actually postponed to the following month. And today, well, a week ago today, we were all thinking, oh, you've got to be kidding me. There's something in the Gulf of Mexico
Right,
coming
yep.
this way.
Right.
No. And then all of a sudden it took a right-hand turn.
Yep.
Lucky us. And it is moving on along the coast of Louisiana as we speak and headed out to the East Coast.
Well, I
So
talked to you
we
this
don't have
week,
to jack with
and
that.
you said that you had a feeling it was going to turn and make the turn and go other places, and I was still kind of on the fence on that.
Well, so at any rate, it's a beautiful morning. It's going to be a hot day, but right now it is absolutely perfect out here for the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In. Let me tell you where we are. We're in Katy. We're along the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, which is one exit to the south of I-10, the Katy Freeway.
That's right.
And so we're out here a ways. There is another Tailpipes and Tacos cruise-in that's going on. That's happening down at what is called the West University location by many. It's
Simultaneously.
also called the Kirby location, but it's on 59, the Southwest Freeway, or I-69, whichever you prefer. Both are correct. And it is between Shepherd and Kirby. And it is on the southbound side of 5969 down there. So that's inside the loop. This one here is clearly out here at the Grand Parkway. Now that we've got all of that taken care of, it's time now to turn our attention to our first guest of the morning, who has never been on this program before, but I've known him since he was a little boy.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Now he's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
He's a big boy.
And he's a big boy racer, too. And his name is Chase Murray. Just happens to be related to his mama, who is the
it's
wife.
a distant relationship.
Who is actually, he is Stan Holt's stepson.
Well,
There you go.
Somebody has to be.
Somebody does have to be. So we've all kind of grown up together in this thing, haven't we?
That's right.
Yeah,
It's been a long time coming.
It has been. So I started in 2007.
That's right.
And I think that's when I first met you.
Yes, sir.
Well, were you still in school?
I'd actually just graduated in 2006. So there was a few run-ins at the racetrack with you and other
That's
places.
right.
And
Run-ins?
With these, I was going to say run-ins.
I thought,
how do you
man,
mean that?
I don't know if I want to hang out with this guy, but here we are.
Oh, okay, so you did meet him.
and when he says guy, he says that loosely because he also knows another personality by the name of Ray Ray who shows up occasionally.
Well, when he first walked up to the desk here, he said, "Hey, good morning, Ray Ray."
He did.
Yeah,
He did say that.
did say that.
I am known in some circles as Ray Ray, and that's a long story for another day. But at any rate,
Are they circles or are they?
It's a really
ovals?
long story, though.
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So Chase Murray actually started in drag racing in junior dragsters.
That's right.
Very cool.
Started when I was 8 years old.
And your mom and dad took an interest in your drag racing career, and your mom ultimately became the head of this region's junior drag racing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, she kind of took over and wanted to manage and keep everybody in line, make everything run smoothly at the racetrack, and she ended up being our race director for many years.
How did that work out for you as being the son?
It was good for me. I can't complain about that.
Yeah. Well, I find it interesting and fun for me to be a big fan of yours because you are in what is, I guess, called the sportsman class?
Yes, sir. Sportsman categories.
Sportsman category. So he races a couple of divisions. One is top dragster, which we'll get to in a minute. And then he also runs a thing called super comp. And they're certainly different looking cars.
They're definitely different looking. One's a little bit longer than the other.
One's
a little bit faster than the other.
Yep.
Both equally fun.
Yes. And your dad takes a great part in helping you tune.
That's
and
right.
Keep the cars going. And it's kind of become a full-time gig for you, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's my dad is definitely the crew chief behind it all and keeps everything
But he always has been from the beginning because
Yeah.
he was a drag racer guy back when he was a kid.
Right. Yeah, we've always been into cars and hot rods and everything like that.
So what was your last event that you just ran?
I want to say it was last month. I actually like to go run Baton Rouge Raceway quite a bit.
Okay.
With my work schedule now, it's kind of hard to pull away certain events.
Good success there for that track that you mentioned, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, if weather holds out, I'll actually be in Baytown tomorrow at a local bracket event at Houston Raceway Park.
That was my next question. Where's the next event?
That's it. Hopefully, they were supposed to have a bigger event. Obviously, the rain threat kind of pushed that away, but they're still going to try to have the smaller bracket deal tomorrow.
So what'd you bring today?
I brought my 2015 Chevrolet Corvette.
Oh, okay.
And I see it sitting over there. And has it had a little paint work, or did it come stock with that black thing in the middle of the hood?
There's been a little bit of modifications, a lot of carbon fiber, little exhaust work, here and there. Can't leave anything stock.
And I assume that is your friend in the blue Corvette that you parked next to.
Yes, it's a
and
beautiful.
whose car is that?
That's my buddy Pilo.
Pilo?
That's it.
That's
Pilo
not his real
Avila.
name.
Well, I have to ask him that. He's straight out of Zacatecas, Mexico.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
So it could be, isn't it?
That's it.
Good vacation spot.
Yeah. So
Those of you that are watching the broadcast, it's the two vehicles to the right of the shop that we've got pulled up right now.
Yeah, over on the right-hand side.
Yep.
So let's go and talk about your drag racing while we're here. I mean, why not? So the top dragster, and I kind of questioned him really before we went on the air this morning, but I think that everybody will find it interesting about a top dragster. And this is not a top fuel dragster.
that's right.
This particular car runs on methanol.
Yes, sir.
And you can't get methanol at the local Chevron station.
No, you
Didn't
cannot.
we drink some of that last night?
I think we did have some, yeah. We did probably in those tequila shots. But at any rate, so why is it running on methanol?
So the sole purpose of that, it has a supercharger on top of the engine. It's a 509 cubic inch motor. Got a big supercharger on it, 1471. The reason for the methanol, you'll see on a few other cars, it cools down that charge of air through the engine. It helps keep the rotors cool on the supercharger.
And it also, because of the coolness of it, when it ignites, it loves that.
It does.
It makes a lot of horsepower.
Cool air flowing through there is going to make way more horsepower, so it helps out all the way around.
So you have the blades on the inside of the turbo.
So
No, it's not a turbo.
Supercharger.
Supercharger.
Okay,
So-
supercharger.
Right,
So you got a supercharger sitting on top of a big block.
right.
So what's the difference between a top dragster and a top fuel dragster?
So a top fuel dragster is about 2 classes above me, and they
Right.
actually use a fuel called nitromethane,
Okay.
which is
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's made to detonate, and it makes way more horsepower, but they've got a whole different setup.
So that's kind of the difference then, is because is still an alcohol dragster, isn't there? Class.
right. There's
You
a
step
top
up,
alcohol dragster.
and then you got top dragster, and then top fuel.
Right.
dragster.
Basically, it's top dragster, go up 1 step, top alcohol dragster, and then top fuel.
Okay.
It's 1
and
step above.
Difference in the fuel and how the engine's built to handle the fuel.
Right.
Okay.
So where's your step? Where's your next step? You gonna go into that?
My next step could either be top alcohol dragster or top fuel, depending on funding, what races we want to go to, how far we want to travel,
Events per year, that type of thing.
Yes, sir.
Crew, all that.
Yeah, it all plays a factor in it. Obviously, you step up to the big leagues, top fuel, you got to have a full crew.
We're
2
talking about
trailers.
millions of dollars.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
talking $3 to $5 million per year.
Right.
If you wanted to go top alcohol racing, you're looking at $15,000, $20,000 per weekend. So there's a pretty big difference in that.
Yeah.
One's a little bit more forgiving on the pocketbook.
Well, the more you win, the more you're out there and you get the name and the vehicle and the car, and then your sponsors come to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get exposure out there and talk to the right people, right time, right place.
Well, let's get back to your car. So can you go out and buy a top dragster? Can anybody do that?
You can. There's a select few chassis builders around the whole United States.
What does a chassis cost?
You're looking, a brand new chassis is anywhere between $20,000 to $25,000
Now,
for
that's just,
a
that's
bare
not a
chassis.
roller. That's just the chassis.
That's right. That's the
Then
bare
you gotta-
chassis, and
yeah.
you have to add the reir end, the wheels, the wing,
And the motor.
exhaust,
Is this
transmission.
Chrome moly chassis, the tubular.
That's right.
Okay.
And the motor, let's get back to that because I keep getting interrupted. You said it turns out about 2,000 horsepower.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I assume that it really sucks down the fuel pretty quick.
It does. We and especially since methanol versus racing gasoline, methanol burns almost at a rate of twice, compared to racing gasoline.
Yeah.
So on a typical 5-second, 6-second run in the quarter mile, you can suck down 4.5 gallons, and that's strictly cranking it up, doing a burnout, running the car, and shutting it off.
Right. And methanol, correct me if I'm wrong, is pretty much a corn-based
Yes, sir.
fuel.
Yes,
And
sir.
it takes a lot more of it than it would for regular gasoline
That's exactly
to
right.
burn in there, and that's how it works.
Yes, sir.
It takes an enormous amount. And you can buy methanol there at the track?
Yes, sir. Most tracks have it. It's used pretty widely.
I'm
around.
sure, yeah. Well, you have a lot of competition in that class.
Oh, for sure. It's last year and the year before, they really ramped up all these other engine combinations, such as a Pro Charge combination, nitrous combination. It's really tough out there.
Yeah. And how are you doing as far as placement right now in your class in this division?
Right now in this division, since COVID happened, my work schedule, I haven't got to make as many races as we wanted to, so I'm pretty far down there in points-wise. For example, we have 6 to 7 events per year on a divisional level. I've only got to make 1 this year.
Oh, my.
So
And so really to compete at the level on a serious basis, you have to go to every race, and
That's right.
every point counts.
That's right. Every point from pulling up there and going first, second, third round, whatever it may be, every point counts, and all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's go back to the car for just a second. Is it an automatic transmission? Does it have a clutch? Does it have gears?
It uses a 2-speed power glide transmission, but
Old
it is
school power glide.
It is automatic. We have it set up to shift on RPM timer. As soon as it hits 7,200 RPMs, it automatically air shifts, and I'm gone.
Right, and you don't physically have to shift it. You don't go from like low 1 to low 2.
No. It's got a little air cylinder right behind the shifter. As soon as it hits that trigger point, it's in high gear.
And you could adjust that trigger point.
That's
whenever
correct.
you wanted to shift
if we
it.
need
Based on
to,
RPM.
track conditions, whether it's weather, if the track isn't prepped as good as it should, you can adjust that down for tire slippage and whatnot.
So you can easily really light the tires up.
Oh, yes.
If you don't tune it just right.
Yeah, there's been situations before when we get out about 700, 800 feet down the track and it's not prepped as well as it should. It'll actually start to spin the tires, and you're looking at 170, 180 miles an hour in the half track. And you wouldn't think you would spin the tires in, but you've got data loggers that show otherwise.
Wow.
Right.
Do you feel it when it does?
Definitely. It'll actually start walking sideways.
Now, if I recall that you have had one accident,
That's right.
and
And that's the scenario I was exactly talking about
yeah,
right there.
it was tire slippage, and before you could catch it and get your foot off the accelerator, it was coming around on
Yep,
you.
that's it. As
Yep.
soon as it was about 900 foot out, you could see the track prep starting to go away. We tried to slow it down, add more wing angle. They tried to prep the track more, and before I could catch it and lift off of it, it already started coming around and flipped me on the side into the wall. It wasn't very violent, but it did cause a lot of damage to the chassis.
Yeah.
And how did it do to your psyche?
It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. There was a little bit of going on the side, but it wasn't a violent crash, so it didn't hurt me too much.
Yeah. Wow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I see that Stan has rolled up in his.
Stan has arrived.
Yes, in his Pontiac Catalina.
It is
and
gorgeous.
we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk more to him about that in a little bit. Okay, so let's go over to the Super Comp car. I don't know as if I've ever seen the Super Comp car. Have I?
You might have. They have very similar paint jobs, so some people, if they're not paying attention too much, they can slip
Well, that
round
would
by.
be me.
That's right.
Yeah. So this top dragster that runs on methanol with the big supercharger on the top of it, it'll do the quarter mile in 5.9 seconds.
Yes, sir. 230 miles an hour, 5.9 seconds. When you switch over to the Super Comp car, it's an index-based class, which goes to 8.9 seconds.
And if you go under 8.9 seconds, then you're out.
That's right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it's the bracket.
It's a bracket class. They
Yeah.
call it index, but it's still basically a bracket class. And
Right.
both cars are set up the same to try and run 8.9 seconds.
Wow.
Get the closest that you can to it.
And do you actually run under? I know that you don't want to run
You
under.
don't want to, but sometimes
It happens
With
because
track-
you still have to beat the other guy in the other lane.
that's right. You want to try and make it to the finish line before him without going quicker than 8.9
So
seconds.
even if you break out on the low end, you still know that number. So the next time you run,
That's right.
you know where to set that.
Yeah, well,
That's
then
right.
Look, it's a stranger in paradise. We're talking to Stan Holt.
Got his
Sheila,
wild howling.
Mama's here, and Mama's looking good. She's got her Beetlejuice shirt on
And
today.
I saw her roll in the new vet, and then Stan trailed her
yeah.
shortly thereafter.
Well, it's so good to see you guys because I haven't seen you, and Mama's here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you guys in, 4 months? I think so. Y'all been traveling around and everything. We'll get to that a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're deep into conversation over here with your son, and I want to continue the conversation. So, which is harder to drive, the top dragster or the Super Comp car?
I'd have to say, honestly, they're equal. When you're looking at the top dragster, you weigh in the weather conditions slightly. It's a lot faster ride, so it can easily get away from you.
Well, the top dragster's got a much longer wheelbase than the Super Comp.
That's right. Well, top dragster is right at 272-inch wheelbase. The Super Comp car compared is 245. So you've got several feet difference on the two.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what kind of a body does the Super Comp car have on it?
Super Comp car has an aluminum fitted body to fit around the chassis versus the top dragster. It's a whole carbon fiber one piece. So the Super Comp car actually has multiple panels pieced together.
Right.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Just,
Just
the way they build them?
if you're not
Yeah,
familiar,
actually, I guess it's about a split now, 50-50. But most dragsters that you see out there will have multiple panels. If you need to get in one section and repair wiring or repair something,
That's
just
what I
pop
thought.
one
That's why it surprised me when you said it's a one-piece unit.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it still has maybe a small access panel on top for electronics and a fuel door up front.
Set the pressures and things.
Yeah, anything that you need to change before a run or in between rounds. Because actually the fuel cell for the Super Comp car is right behind the driver's compartment versus top dragster, it's in the nose.
That's for weight also.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have to factor all that in too. I mean, you could have, I've got about a 9-gallon tank on the top dragster, and the Super Comp car is right about 5 gallons. So you need the extra fuel capacity for the top dragster.
well,
because
let's
we're running
talk. Let's
methanol.
talk about the Super Comp car motor, because we talked about the top dragster motor, 2,000 horsepower, supercharged. That's right ahead of a Power Glide 2-speed transmission. That's
right.
basically automatic, and you set when it shifts, and that's it.
right. That's right.
So, how about the Super Comp car? What kind of motors it got in it?
The Super Comp car is based off a big block Chevy. It's 582 cubic inches, and on the dyno, it made just under 1,100 horsepower.
So it's pretty much half the horsepower as the top dragster car.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, what about the transmission in it?
It also features the same Power Glide transmission,
Okay.
2-speed, automatic shift with the air solenoid.
So it's similar. It's shorter. It's got half the horsepower. And what does it do in the quarter mile?
In the quarter mile, we shoot with the index at 8.9 seconds, 175 miles an hour.
Okay. That's still pretty fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess that there are street cars that'll do that, but not too many.
Not too many, no, sir.
Yeah. And so, do you take both of them to the track at the same time and race them in their own categories at the same time?
That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
At most divisional events with NHRA, they allow us to run both classes. So we'll load up one dragster backwards and the other one forward, and they go right next to each other in the bottom of the trailer.
Gotcha.
So
And so, now, are you going to bring both tomorrow to Baytown?
actually, no, that race is more fitted towards the Super Comp car, which I'll be running in bracket race mode, which means that I will turn the throttle stop off and we will run 1/8 mile only. And in the 1/8 of a mile, that car will run 4.7 seconds, 145 miles an hour.
In an eighth of a
1/8
mile.
of a mile, yes, sir.
Wow. Sounds like
A little
what
over 600 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like,
660 feet, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
sounds like Mike's on-ramp acceleration test is what it sounds like.
Hardly.
No, not even close to that.
Yeah. So when it comes time to rebuild these motors, I know that that's an ugly word for you, but every once in a while they have to be rebuilt.
Right, yeah. Usually
And how much does a rebuild cost, and how often does that happen?
you can look at a price range of $4,000 to $6,000, depending on how long you've ran it. If you want to be on the safe side, obviously, if something lets go, it hurts the motor, you're looking at a lot more.
Yeah,
So
a lot more.
you want to be proactive on most of that stuff. Look at piston rings, pistons, valve springs, bearings for sure.
And does your dad do that?
He actually does. He actually just started a new business called Diamondback Performance in Orange, Texas this past year. Got a 5-axis CNC machine, working on getting an engine dyno. So things are slowly getting up and running.
But you don't get it. You take it in on a Tuesday. You don't get it back on Wednesday.
No, sir. No, it
It's-
takes a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Especially now, it seems like everybody's having trouble with shipping issues, getting parts, stuff like that. Everything's taking a lot longer, and
Right.
not even factoring in the manual labor it takes to tear everything down. And when you go back together with stuff like that, it's not just quick. It's take your time. Make
It's
sure
not a
measured.
street motor.
No.
That's right. No.
Right. Yeah, you have to be pretty precise.
So
with
are
it.
the parts being slow, is that kind of bothering you as far as your racing effort goes?
Not as far as racing wise, but as far as rebuilding motors, getting the customer stuff out, it
And
does.
parts and that sort of stuff. Do you have one major supplier that you use to work on your race cars? You Summit or somebody like that?
We use, honestly,
Multiple?
multiple. I wouldn't say there's one big conglomerate that would take care of everything, but
right. So you buy your pistons from this guy.
right.
You buy bearings from this person.
Yep.
I got you.
If we need cylinder heads, we'll call somebody else. It just depends, really,
Yeah,
what the case may be.
yeah. You know, what a fun hobby.
It is, yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. So, you know, how old are you?
I'm 32.
He's 32. I know he's still your baby. You know, let's see. I've known him since 2007. Let's do the math. So that would be 14 years ago.
So he was like 16, 17, 18.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so Mama's here.
And you survived knowing him. That's really good.
Barely.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And so home is still over in Orange, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, Mr. Mars
Your
here
neighbors.
lives in Needlerville.
I just learned that out a while ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Small world.
So when you need some help,
Yeah.
don't call him. I'm just saying. Yeah,
He's
All
a
right.
good wrench.
yeah. He does okay. He holds his own here on the In-Wheel Time Show. But when it comes to anything else, that's it. Chase Murray, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I've let time slip by, and we've got to move on because we
right.
got other stuff we got to do.
Thank you
but
guys for having me. and
Thank you
talking.
very much, man. It's great to see you, and a great interview, and we really appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right, time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had a chance to drive the 2021 Cadillac Escalade.
And let me tell you, I was styling and profiling in that thing. So what we're talking about, the 2021 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury with four-wheel drive. And the
Cool.
whole works. Full-size, body-on-frame, luxury, get-you-some SUV. Now, Escalade's been around for a long time, and so I was surprised to learn that this is actually the fifth generation of this vehicle. So they find something that works, and they keep it for a while. Did the same thing with the Suburban. So you can get it in a 7 or 8 passenger model. On the exterior, it's got some vertical lighting
So wait a
elements.
minute. In the Escalade, you could get a bench seat in the second and third rows.
Yes, it's optional.
How bizarre.
In fact, there's a couple of other things that are bizarre I'm going to point out as we go through this. So outside, you know, you've got the big grille up front with the Escalade emblem, the Cadillac emblem on it. It's got vertical lighting elements. Now, this is horizontal headlights, but it's also got the vertical elements on it, as well as the big, tall, like 30-something inch tall tail lights that are in the back of this
Those are
thing
awesome.
that are really cool looking. So we had the rain-sensing front wipers. The rear wiper is actually hidden behind the rear spoiler, so it's out of sight unless it's running. Power side steps. We had a panoramic sunroof, and in a vehicle this size, we are talking panoramic. Had the hands-free power liftgate, 22-inch polished 14-spoke wheels. We were rolling on some 22s, Jeff.
Man.
Soft closed doors. A lot of nice things on the outside.
I like
but when
the
you
soft
get
closed
to
doors.
the interior, now this is where it was really cool because we were in the premium luxury trim level. We had the Mulan leather seating.
Mulan.
Mulan.
Like the Moulin Rouge?
Well, there were several Mulans you could do. The front seats are heated and vented. The second row seats, which are standard, come with captain's chairs. Those were heated. However, you can get an optional, no charge, optional bench seat in that second row if you'd like to have one.
No charge.
The front seats also have massaging, and the third row is the 60/40. Now, because it has the independent suspension that we'll
So
talk
when
about
you were
later.
driving me around in the Escalade, I can sit in the back seat with my arm around my girl in the bench seat. Which you
Well-
can't, but the captain's chairs, you can't do that.
Well, we dropped the captain chairs down, put you in the third row so
There
you
you
can be
go.
styled and profiled. Because it does have the independent suspension in the rear now, so it gives more leg room, about 10 inches more leg room back there in the third row. I can actually sit in the third row.
On your Mulan seats.
And I can listen to the 36 speaker AKG stereo auto surround system while I'm back
36?
there. Now, it also comes, we had the 14.2-inch cluster display where you normally find your gauges and things, and we had the 7.2-inch control screen over the side of it, and they back up together with just a little bit of a divider and almost makes this really long display panel in the dash. But we also had the heads-up.
I typically use the word cluster in other ways, but
Yeah.
we won't get into that now.
Not in this case.
Okay.
But the heads-up display's got a lot of things on it. It's multicolored. It was really impressed with that. So we also, let's see, that gave that 10-inch there. So you got to have something to move this thing because it weighs 5,600 pounds. So we had the 6.2-liter V8, which is a standard engine, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 10-speed automatic.
Perfect.
Now, there is an option coming this year that you can get a 3.0-liter diesel if you want one at no cost.
So when you're
option.
trailering your 100-foot yacht, then you don't have to worry about anything. Just put the diesel in it, and you're good to go.
That's right.
With your bench seat.
But no upgrade charge. So EPA says on the 6.2 you should be looking for about 14 in the city, 19 on the highway, 16 combined. Well, I got almost 15 out of it. And one of the things I really liked about this thing is the power, the smooth power. That 10-speed automatic didn't have to search for gears. Sometimes you didn't even know it had 10-speed because of the combination with the 420 horsepower. Worked really well. And then you get that independent rear suspension out on the highway. Combine that with the optional magnetic ride control.
It's a
with air
limousine.
suspension. It is, and
It's
it
a
rides
Cadillac.
like it. And you can see, you going down Interstate 10, I could see why these people are sitting out here in the $50 lane passing me, and I'm doing 80, and they're passing me like I'm sitting still. This is a highway hauler.
What's the $50 lane? What is that?
That's where you go whenever you want to go fast.
Oh, okay.
Costs extra to get there. Now, if you're looking for competitors to this
Because he
thing,
gets tickets.
you're going to have
know.
to be looking at something that's big, like a Lincoln Navigator. You also can look at the GMC Yukon Denali. It's about as close as the GMC family's going to get to that Cadillac, but it's really, from a luxury standpoint, there's really no comparison. You can get a base Escalade for $76,195. However, we had the premium
We're
luxury.
sitting down and holding on.
Four-wheel drive, all that good stuff. Starts at $85,995.
But yours,
we had some options.
yeah.
And we rolled up to $106,810 in a car that I just loved driving.
I'll take two.
I would two would be good.
Did you take your wife for a ride in it?
Oh, I did. I took her as many rides as I could. The massaging seats, the stereo, the moonlight. I tried my
boy.
best.
I can only
That's what
imagine.
you young kids are calling it now.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available at your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin and a special guest appearance by Jeff Heitzman.
All right, Jeffrey.
I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday. It's a beautiful day in the Houston, Texas neighborhood. Actually, today, we are at Tailpipes and Tacos out here in Katy at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, which is just a skosh
I like
south
that. Yeah.
of I-10.
Absolutely.
And our special guest in the remote In Wheel Time studio now is my dear friend, Mr. Stanton Holt, the proprietor and founder of the Lupi Tortilla organization. Stanton, it's good to see you. I was telling Sheila, I told Sheila I haven't seen you guys in what, 4 months?
Something like that.
I know you were gone. You were on the tour.
After that introduction, I think I'm too good to do this show.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want that shirt. Can I have that?
Everybody likes this shirt.
He does.
I love that
You
shirt.
need to get your logo on it, though. You know, right? You got room right over here.
I just got it. I bought it at Kohl's on the way over here. So
Coles.
give me time.
Yeah, exactly. So how the heck are you?
I'm good. I'm telling you, we're doing good. What a beautiful day.
It
Gorgeous
is.
day.
If you're not out here, something is wrong. Or you can't get your old car started. One of the two.
We arrived here a little before 6 this morning.
Oh.
And there were folks pulling in the driveway at 6:15.
We had to move the support van for the In Wheel Time Car Show early this morning, and
it was filling up.
Yeah, it was filling up already. So
nice.
Everybody's anxious to get out and do something. It's Father's Day weekend in Houston,
bet.
Texas.
It is Father's Day
and
weekend.
there's no rain today.
And I've been told, as a father, that I get to do whatever she wants to do tomorrow. It's an amazing holiday.
That's great. I'm proud for you.
It's like a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed that we rolled in. Is that a '66 Pontiac?
You're so young.
It is gorgeous.
So young.
What year is it?
64.
It's a '64 Pontiac Coupe.
It's a
Bonneville.
Pontiac Catalina.
Oh, it's a Catalina.
Yes.
Catalina.
And I have a story,
Okay.
as you knew
Of
I
course
would.
you do. Yes.
Sure.
Of course.
Is this too loud?
No,
too close?
No, you're fine.
Okay. And my junior year in high school, my dad was a manager at a Pontiac dealership in Covina, California.
Covina?
Eight miles west of Pomona.
Yep.
And so I had a 57, I'm proud to say, the 57 Ford Fairlane 500.
Nice.
Root
Beautiful.
beer brown.
Oh.
Got a story about that, but you don't have enough airtime. Anyway, I pulled up. I had no idea. Pretty little girl on the other side of the tracks. I had no idea, was she going to just bomb this outfit for the prom, or I was just nervous. So I pull up my 57 Ford Fairlane 500, all four windows down, California evening.
Oh, yeah.
I'd waxed it to the primer. I pull up. She walks out the door. I'm telling you, she was stunning. Absolutely stunning. I wish she could hear this.
How old were you?
I was 17.
The car or the girl?
Both.
Both. Okay.
But when she walked out the door, I said, stop, right there. Now, you know me for a long time. That my personality's been the same since 17.
Yes.
Go back inside. I'll be back in 10 minutes. She's like, what? I leave. I go to the dealership, which is like 4 miles away. I said, Dad, I cannot take this girl to the prom in that 57 Ford. I can't. What are you talking about? Call me Bubba. Bubba, what are you talking about? I want to use your demo tonight. His demo was a 1964 Catalina, white with red interior.
That car right
Oh,
there.
my
8
gosh.
lug wheels. There it is.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
8 lug
She
wheels.
probably, is still very attractive, but not quite as pretty as that day. I'm guessing.
At 17.
But I may be wrong.
Car is.
Yeah, well.
She was about to be 16, so not even 15 years old.
Wow.
Well, stay with the memory.
Yeah, her parents were just not thinking at all.
Yeah, to let her go out with you
Yeah, in a bench seat car.
in a bench seat car,
I
a
would
brand
spit-
new one,
A brand new one.
a demo.
It was, but it was you know what they're like, you know.
Yes.
Just awesome.
17. You can't go wrong.
So where did you find that gem?
I got to give a plug to my buddy Scott Wagner. I got it at Wagner Classics. About 3 years ago, I found one, and the guy, it was at Gateway,
Yep.
and they were asking $16,000 for it. And I called. They said, "Oh, it sold an hour ago to a guy in Germany."
Ooh.
I said, "I'll give you 20." "Oh no, wait, sir, we can't. We can't do that." I said, 22. "Sir, we can't. The car's committed to a guy in Germany. $25,000. He said, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't." I said, "Boy, the car business has changed a lot since my dad was in it." And some guy in Germany would have been getting a telegram saying, "Sorry, your car caught on fire. Here's $1,000 for your trouble."
Yeah, exactly.
No kidding.
Yeah,
So
they
this
didn't
is
sell
what
it.
the insurance paid for it, and that's all I got.
That's it. So
So you didn't buy that car,
I didn't get it, but
Yep.
I couldn't get it out of my mind.
right?
So every time I pick up, Hemmings or whatever, I'm constantly looking for it online. And I looked online one day and popped up. If you go to like looking for 64 Catalina, two-door hardtop, all the sites come up.
Yeah.
And it's Scott's. So I called Scott, and he's a drag racer. He builds, and he also restores cars.
Where is he? Here?
No, he's in Bonner Springs, Kansas,
Okay.
which is just left
In the-
of Kansas City.
In the middle of America.
Yes.
So the seller to this was in Germany?
No.
No.
Yeah. No. Other car.
Yeah.
Join us. Come on. Jump in. Anyway,
Follow along.
so I called Scott about the car, and I said, "Is it a nice car?" He said, "As a matter of fact, Stan, it's my car." I said,
Wow.
"What do you mean? It's my car. It's my classic car." I said, "You know what I just heard?" I said, "What? You're not going to discount that car." That's all I heard.
Sure.
So it's 53,000 miles, never seen a paint booth.
Wow.
289 with a 2-barrel, but factory dual exhaust. No air.
Weird.
Weird.
Well,
And I was going to put tri-power on it, and Scott encouraged me not to do that. He said,
Right.
"Wait till you drive it. The last thing it needs is horsepower."
Yeah.
The car is so smooth and so fast, just the way it is. I'm not going to touch it. So
what is it? Was it a Midwestern car originally?
it was a little north of Kansas, whatever.
Okay.
The state above Kansas.
Well,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Nebraska.
Oh, well, good guy. Wow, I missed that class. Or I wasn't paying attention.
Probably that one.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so a Midwestern car wouldn't have air conditioning, especially in
Right.
1964. They didn't have a lot of cars in Houston.
And I'm
in
not
that-
going to put air in it. I bet I don't drive that car 200 miles a year.
Right.
It's so nice.
Yeah, no. And and as far as the motor is concerned, that was pretty standard stuff back in the day
289.
with a 2-barrel.
And it's got that, what do they call that? Hydromatic?
Hydromatic transmission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don, you could get lucky in that car.
Oh.
Well, that is something to write home about.
It really
because,
is. I know you tried in a Corvair and it just didn't
Yeah.
work
It didn't
out.
work out.
I'm making notes here.
Yeah.
There was something about the Corvair that just didn't happen for me. I can't imagine
It
what
was
that
the
would
girls
be.
that didn't happen for you either.
Bingo. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we have the Catalina on the screen, not Stan.
Yeah, good call.
And thank you so much for bringing all of that up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's what friends are for,
yeah,
right?
we don't see each other that often.
So
do
you
what
got to
do.
bring it all up now.
Yep.
I have to share with you, post-COVID,
Yes.
this place is rocking and rolling. We're up 115%.
Wonderful.
From a year ago. Well,
From pre-COVID.
really?
Yes, we're 115. All 4 of my restaurants set all-time sales records in the month of May. All
Very,
time.
very good.
All time. People are so happy to be out and just
Absolutely.
try and be
excuse.
normal. I said,
Yes.
get all this COVID stuff out of here.
Did you
can't.
get your shots?
I had 2 shots on the way over here. As a matter of fact.
Did you? I just had one. I'm waiting for the owner of the joint to buy me another one.
Yeah, really.
I did get both shots.
Yeah, me too.
I got the fizzer.
Did you get sick on either one?
Not a thing.
Yeah,
Really?
me neither.
And bless her heart, Sheila had. We were homebound for 34 days. She had a pretty serious case of it. Not
Wow.
life-threatening.
She didn't have to go to the hospital, did she?
No, she didn't. And we were at the lake house when we discovered it. So her mom was there, and I rushed her mom home, got her out of there, and I stayed at, well, I say I stayed at one end of the house, and she stayed at the other.
We know that's not
Her
the case.
story is she had the guest room, and I had the rest of the house.
Oh,
And the pool and the lake.
Yes, of course.
And the cars.
Yeah.
and the kitchen.
Of course.
And the kitchen. And the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I have to
But
ask.
she had the guest room.
she had the guest room.
I have to
it's
ask.
it's a nice guest room.
You have to go out, turn around, and go back in. You can't just turn around in the room, but it's nice.
Yeah, well.
I have to ask you, how did the restaurants do for the ice storm that we had in February?
That was bad.
Was
that
it
was
bad?
really
Because
very expensive. Is bad.
I use you as kind of a judge because
A gauge.
it's not just you. I mean, I'm sure that all of the other businesses, especially restaurants,
Yeah.
dealt with the same thing.
Awful. It was 5 days, but I mean, we were closed. Power outage, pipes breaking,
Yeah.
because you leave the water running and so forth. It doesn't work when the power goes out.
No.
You know,
Right.
It's so it was bad, very expensive and bad, but we got it put back together quickly. And
But not only that, your staff, your team in each of these locations too, suffered personal. I'm sure.
they did. We have a habit of taking care of that.
Yeah.
So they didn't.
Yeah.
We take care of them. And when we got close to getting open, they could come in and help us get things freshened up and sharp and ready to go. And so they're also good about it. Like the kids that get here at 6 in the morning to put on this
Yeah.
this cruise in. They're here.
There's several of
Eggs
them.
don't just happen, and
Correct.
they're here. They're
Yeah.
excited about it. At least they tell me they are. And
They are.
If we have a rain out or whatever, they're kind of sad about it, because they get ready for it. It's something different to do. And
Well, and you
And
know,
it's fun.
for the most part, I think that it brings a different crowd. That they may be some regulars here, but I think that especially this event, and remind me to tell you about our experience down at the Kirby location. Well, it was terrible weather that day, and let me start on that. Let's go with that. Terrible weather that day, and there were probably a dozen cars that showed up, and we had some of the greatest interviews
Yes.
really,
down there.
Nice.
Actually, a couple of the guys who went to Westbury High School.
and they finished.
And they finished, unlike me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think everybody picked that up.
yeah,
to say it.
right away. Exactly. But I'm telling you, it was great, different cars, and great interviews. And these guys knew each other for the most part because they ran kind of in the same circles.
Right.
They actually made some new contacts at that event.
Right.
And so it was really good for us.
In fact, one of them came out here because we were telling them all about out here, and we were out here. And last month, the guy in the '67 Corvette,
Yes.
he showed up out here.
Well, I feel bad that they did their first one. The weather wasn't working for them.
No, the weather
our goal is. My boys are all excited about this. They think it's so much fun, and they're car guys too. And I really want it to take off and go. One doesn't conflict with the other; it's too far away.
Right.
That's a whole different end of the world.
Right.
I'm not sure he wants to do it on 249, but they're a real rapid expansion going on, and it's a lot of work, and it's hard for them to get focused.
Right.
Sure.
And so, and I haven't had the time to go kind of help show how this works, but I really want it to work well for them because it's a lot of fun. And like in the Conroe area, every Saturday night is a little shopping center, and it's a cruise in every Saturday
It's
night.
Conroe Cruisers.
Conroe Cruisers, and they get about 75 cars every Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that.
But it's a great opportunity there too. So
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you that the manager down there at the Kirby location and Judd, wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, whatever we needed, well, we just needed an internet connection there. No problem. We'll have that put in. It'll be ready for you.
Yeah.
Plug it in. We're ready to go. And the manager there, great guy, and it was truly a pleasure do business down there, if you will.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean, I really want it to work out.
Yeah.
Judd, my oldest son, just bought a hangar behind my 2 hangars at West Houston Airport.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a plane, getting ready to expand and go to Florida. I don't know why they're jumping over Louisiana like that, but they are. But anyway, that's their choice. But yeah, I'm really excited for them and how it's going.
It sounds good.
Have you gotten any new car acquisitions since we last spoke?
Probably, yes.
Did you want to talk about those or no?
Just briefly, I have a neighbor at the in Conroe, 4 doors down, and he's reached the age where he's not driving anymore. And he had a 2012, not that interesting a car, but it's a car that will never go out of style. It's a 24,000-mile 2012 Mercedes 350 Cabriolet.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
White with a black top, black leather, white stitching. And I would go down and tease him about buying it and so on and so forth. And one day I was walking by and he said, I'm serious about selling the car. So I bought that. It is just like a brand new automobile.
You keeping it up there at the lake?
No, not yet. I brought it home. We're going to kind of go through it and it's clean, but it's
put a little love on it.
To put real nice detail. But that car will never ever go out of style.
Right.
It just won't.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I saw a car similar to that. It was a little bit older that they did on Wheeler Dealers. I don't know whether you're familiar with that show or not. I'm a fan of that show, and they did some work to it, and like the host Mike said, this is a beautiful driving car, and it looks good and will never go out of style. Those were his words, just like yours. And those are classic cars that most people will go, they
won't say that forever.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure I keep this car, 5 years from now it'll have 22,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Just a plug.
Yes.
I have two 78 Lincoln Mark V's.
Wow.
Get rid of one of them?
Yep. I want to keep the yellow one. It's yellow with yellow interior. And the Mexican food business should take a left turn or something. I could always be a pimp.
There you go.
Yeah. Get you a hat.
Yeah. But I have the white one.
Yeah.
No vinyl top, which is a really good deal.
Yes.
With baby blue interior. The yellow one has 9,600 miles. The white one has 13,500. So I want to sell the white one.
How much are you asking for the white one?
Are you a buyer or are you just inquiring?
Well,
he's thinking about Saturday night. He may have a date.
I'm actually trying to help you sell it.
Oh, well, we don't need to sell it, as you know, but it just doesn't get driven, and the car is just pristine.
Basically, the bottom line is you need another space in the hangar
I
out
think
there
that's
for
what it is.
another car.
Very astute.
I know you.
Right through you.
Is this your first time marketing it right now, or do you have other
Basically,
avenues?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really. We just
got
kind of
exclusive.
finished making it all it should be.
Exclusive.
You know,
We've
air
got
blows
an-
cold, all that stuff that car
Got
guys say.
exclusive.
Yeah.
One thing I did to the car, it had wire wheel hubcaps, which was common.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, they made a dish-looking aluminum wheel, polished outer for that year of the car, and a really cool-looking centerpiece, and it was an option. I found a guy in New York that sold me a set of those wheels, totally restored, and shipped to my door for $1,000.
Nice.
Transformed the car. Just transformed the car. Anyway, there should be some guy about my age with, a wife that would go crazy. White, baby blue
or
interior.
maybe somebody about your age that's maybe looking for the next wife, that looking for a Saturday night date.
Or a gay guy like Don might go for it.
At least I didn't go there.
Oh, incoming.
Are you talking about Ray Ray?
Oh, we're still on the air? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not anymore.
Use my inner voice.
Yeah, I didn't say that like it was a bad thing. I just mentioned the obvious.
Exactly.
And it is Father's Day.
Yeah. So there's that.
I can't go a minute without giving a shout out to the Emmons boys.
The Emmons brothers.
We were all at the races in Tulsa.
Yeah.
We just came back from Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's a long way. Two blowouts on the way back.
It's a really long way then.
My wife won't mention it, but I will. My wife, who it finally clicked, drag racing did. She's number 21 in the world in stock right now.
Oh, my
The season ain't over.
And where are you?
Number 21 in super stock, as it would be.
awesome.
Wow.
I just wrote the same check at the same time. And
Sure.
That
we
way
both
it
want to
works
be
out.
21.
It was
Yeah.
easier,
zoomed
Pick
right
a
up
number. Yeah. But that's out of like 380 cars driver in the world. So that's a long way for her. We were in Dallas, and she went to the finals and lost by 0.02 of a second. How much?
8,000.
8,000. Get
of a
corrected
second.
And
remotely.
she's still
now.
correcting you, yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
Well, it's Father's Day.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, 8,000th of a second. Okay. Well, the 2,000th, I think, was on the starting line. That's where I got that number. She was 002 on the starting line. So
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
got my numbers mixed up.
One of these days, we're going to get her on the air with us.
002
One
and
of these
lose?
days.
How does that happen?
I
By
don't.
8,000th
Youth.
of a second,
Yeah.
apparently. Yeah.
It's youth.
She won't come on the line. She's so shy.
Yes, I know. Well, we actually have had her on the air last fall, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did?
It's been a while,
I
yeah.
didn't remember that.
She hasn't
Yes.
recuperated yet, I guess.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Stanton, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for
Good to
stopping
see you
by
guys,
and
too. Thanks for
talking
doing
to
this.
us. Yeah, you bet. Well, we enjoy coming out here, and we always have some great interviews with all of these people that show up. It's kind of like
They're still coming in.
take your pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Take your pick, and this guy knows this guy, and we haven't been out here before, and it's a new deal for us. Well, come on, sit down.
When I get off, I'm going to go in the parking lot and start a chant. Sheila, Sheila.
There you go. We can help you with that.
Do that.
I
You
could
gotta-
probably get Martha on here for me, Sheila.
There you go.
Our
And don't
guest,
forget-
Mr. Stan Holt, the proprietor, the founder of the Lupi Tortilla Bunch, and we really appreciate you stopping by. And we like the Santa Catalina.
Santa Catalina. I asked where Tuna Boat parking was when I came in.
Tuna boat
Right
park.
there.
I like it.
Yeah,
It worked out fine, and I noticed that there are crowds come and go, gathered around
crowds,
the car
yeah.
to take a gander at it.
Getting eye tracks on it.
And the other thing is that you mentioned was the 8-lug wheels,
Yeah.
which are rare, and I think only with that car.
With Pontiac,
No,
yeah.
the
Only
Riviera.
Pontiac. No,
Yeah.
only Pontiac.
Yeah, 8 lugs.
And it says Pontiac Motor Division around the hub.
Yep.
Yep.
And
That's it.
the beauty rims, as we used to call them, are like 6 inches wide. It's just
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
very nice car.
Thank you all for being here. You did such a great job.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
We
We
appreciate
care
it,
about
and
you
it's
guys.
great to have you stop by. Stan Holt with Lupi Tortilla. Okay, hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can always shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Hour number 2 of our show starts right after a quick break.
Houstonian-owned
856-35.
Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the most sought-after models in the Houston area today. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy to get to on Highway 225 near Beltway 8 in Pasadena. Whether it's online or in person, you're welcome like one of the family. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
From the monthly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In out here at Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex Restaurant in Katy, Texas.
All right.
This is the award-winning car talk show in wheel time. Just ahead, more participants, guests with some interesting rides out here at the Cruise In. We'll review our featured car of the week, the 2021 Ford Lincoln Navigator Black Label.
Oh.
We've got your weekly Cruise In calendar. Conrad will also have this week in auto history.
Long
I guess
distance.
you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines all coming up this hour on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Thank you for joining us today. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars.
Down in the end.
We need more Jeff Zekin.
All right.
And from the Wayback Machine, a special guest appearance by Jeffrey Heitzman. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. It's a beautiful day. You got 2 hours, well, actually about an hour if you're watching and thinking, well, you know, they talked about rain, supposed to rain over in these parts. Well, it ain't. All that mess that was out in the Gulf of Mexico is headed east.
We even broadcast to the places that are raining right now. They can tune in.
That's correct. And, you know, we actually do. We broadcast around the world.
Yeah, we do. We're in several countries.
We are in several countries. And for some unknown reason, I'm not quite sure why, we are big in Latin America.
Well, there you go. We hit it off.
I think that Mr. Mars' microphone.
It's a guest. This is the guest microphone.
There
But
you
we're
go.
also going to need the other green one as well.
You know,
Because-
so Jeff Heitzman, you know, and I worked together at KPRC Radio way back in the 1920s, 30s, well, whatever.
Was it 19 or 18th?
18, that's right. I think radio wasn't invented then, but whatever. And he was the fine board op on the weekend, and also a voice of many commercials that we did back in the day. And Jeff and I somehow have managed to stay in touch, these many years later.
So he hasn't kicked you to the curb yet.
Not yet. I don't know why. We know he was front and center when we did the great show down there at Keels and Wheels.
Yes.
And he saved our butts.
He did do that.
He did,
And you know
because
what?
he made an end run to the Walmart to get me a power supply for my computer that I left at home.
And
everything centers around that computer.
he's been an integral
Watch
part
out.
last week as
You
well.
you need to get out of the way there, Mr. Mars.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so we got important stuff coming through here.
Yes, we do.
Important stuff.
Just pass that down this way. Don't spill it on any phones or anything,
On my computer.
or your computer.
Or
Because
my
knowing
guest
you-
next to me here.
Yes.
So this one goes all the way into Jeff.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it does.
And
Okay.
I'm going to spill it on these ladies, and they're going to get really
Here,
mad at
let
me.
me have that. Thank you. Here you go. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but you know,
Got to take care of business.
we're a little parched here, and we have to take care of business. So who do we have, Mr. Mars?
I'm going to tell you. Did you notice earlier this morning, whenever there's 32 Fords came in,
Yes.
one coupe and the 3 Roadsters?
The High Boys. Are they High Boys?
Yeah.
I see them over there now.
Yeah, they came in together, and I'm going to tell you, we always heard the story about how hot rodding works together, and we kind of become kind of family
It
because
does.
this is real family. The family that hot rods together stays together.
Wow.
This is every one of them's family members, and we have Kay Burrows, who drives the red.
Okay.
You're Kay?
Kay is no.
Raise
Kay
your hand,
is
Kay.
down
Oh,
on
you're
the
Kay.
end.
Raise your hand. Okay.
And April happens to drive the black 32 Ford Roadster.
Nice.
And
You
they
know-
are going to talk to us about their vehicles.
Well, I have to tell you that in this current issue that I just got last week of Hot Rod Magazine, there is a fabulous car. It's a 32. And this guy has done a job on this car that it is absolutely spectacular. So if you're not a Hot Rod Magazine fan, pick up a copy because you'll appreciate it. And it's not an original body, you know, because I didn't know this, but apparently they make that body and you can buy that body. the steel body. I did not know that. And it has a Chevrolet engine in it because this is apparently, and I didn't know this either, period correct for the 1960s because everybody was going for the new V8. Yep, the new V8, and that's right, in the 55, 56, 57. So when they'd wreck one, they'd go pull the motor out and replace the flathead V8 that the cars came with. And the attention to detail on this car in the magazine was spectacular. And I've not seen those cars ever, but I'm looking at them now and I'm going, I could do that.
Yep.
I could do that easily. And I'll be honest with you, I have had thoughts, just saying, of getting rid of the Corvette. I have a 20-year-old Corvette that I've been babying for a number of years, but I thought, okay, well, what would I get? That.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, any of those. Any of those. Because, okay.
We
well,
can help you out with that.
Can you?
Yeah.
So, so let me ask either one of you, whoever wants to go first. How did you acquire the car?
So I married into the family, and
That's always a good way to acquire a car.
Yeah.
Yes, you married into the family.
House,
and
property.
so the car was already there with the husband.
so he had an orange Roadster at the time. A good friend of ours owns it now. And we went to the Roadster breakfast early on, maybe in the first month or two that we were married. And we were getting ready to go, and I said, "Can I drive?" And so he let me, and it started from there. And a few years later, we got this car, bought it from
One of our
we
customers.
had built it, but
Yeah.
we bought it back from one of our customers. So
And what kind of business are you in? A customer?
we have Bruce's Rod Shop, and we build the hot rods for a living.
Nice.
So that's what we mean. We can help you get rid of the Corvette and get into the 32s where you
Only if
belong.
you're willing to take a trade.
No.
That's
Been,
and that's where the hang up is, you know. I just
been there,
need-
done that with Corvettes.
Listen.
We had a '64 Corvette in the mid '60s.
Stan's got the white Lincoln.
Yeah.
He's got the white Lincoln, so maybe I could trade that for
And
the
then,
yeah,
and then that
yeah,
one,
I
and
got
then
it.
that one. And
No, let's not do that. So, do those cars out there have a small block Chevy in them?
Both the black and the red have 350 Chevrolet
Engines in
crate
them.
engines
Yeah.
in it.
And the other two?
The other two, the green Roadster is my husband's main driving car. The coupe is our son's new car that he just finished about a year ago. And
What kind of motors do they have in them?
small block and big block.
Chevrolets. Yeah.
Ford engines don't seem to fit very good in 32 Fords.
Huh.
So
You know, and
32 Ford.
that was one of the odd things. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, so you've got a Ford automobile. Why wouldn't you put a Ford engine in it? Well, you just said.
they don't fit very well.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to
Drop a Chevy in it.
Yeah, and they run really good. The red Roadster, Danny and my husband built for me, and we finished it in 2003. And they were building it for me, and it came time we had the engine and everything. And I went by the shop one day, and they were at the point that we needed a carburetor. And so I asked my husband, I said, have you ordered the carburetor? And he said, no, we got one on the shelf back there. We'll just have it rebuilt. And I said, no, I don't think so. No. We need a new carburetor.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, long story short, we bought I gave my son my credit card, and I said, order anything that we need. And he said, well, Mom, we need to put a cam in this car. And I said, okay, So we put a 430 cam in it, and so I think it's right at a 400 horsepower. And
in a car that weighs nothing.
Yeah, about 2,300
I would say 20.
pounds.
Uh-huh.
Five speed with an overdrive.
Automatic.
No.
No.
Standard.
Standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. And hot rods, especially the roadsters, you have to have a standard shift in it. So
I have a standard shift in the Corvette. Are you interested now?
Yeah,
No.
she is.
Okay. Just
ours was standard too. So it was fun those few years that we had the Corvette. But these cars, we drive all over. We
you take any road trips in them?
Oh yeah.
Where do you go?
Well, I have 140,000 miles since
Wow.
2003 on my red Roadster, and it's
Everywhere.
We did
Yeah.
take 10 family members and 6 1932 Fords to Canada, to Victoria Island there, and for Deuce Days back in 2013. So, yeah, we go all over the place. We went 6,000 miles in 16 days.
So you're not worried about weather. You're not worried about
He
breakdowns.
is. He's worried about weather.
Breakdowns. Yeah, I mean, they're that reliable.
well, yeah. I mean, what we do on long trips like the one to Canada, we know what we can stop at a regular auto supply and buy, but there are some things that you have to order to replace something that stops working.
Right.
And so those things we pack and it goes with us.
You don't have a chase car or something like that.
No, we chase each other.
Yep, I got that. Yeah.
Trying to keep up with six
how
cars.
how much fun is that, though?
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Because
it was,
I have to tell you that I think the most fun that I had with any of the Corvettes that I owned, and this goes back to I want to say the late 70s, early 80s, road trips.
oh yeah.
With half a dozen to a dozen hot rods or Corvettes, whatever it was. We took a road trip to San Antonio, got screwed on the hotel. That was we were supposed to have a block of rooms. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any rooms. Then it was a scramble. It's after dark, 10 o'clock at night. Who's gonna have rooms at 10 o'clock at night? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
We found something at the TP Motel somewhere out there in the hill country.
Yeah.
And but that's part of taking road trips
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you pack an extra pair of socks and an alternator.
Yeah, yeah. And if you have to choose between the two, you don't pack the socks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of gas do you even care about gas mileage? I mean, do you have to stop every 15 miles and put gas in it?
Well, the Roadsters have 10 gallon 10 gallon gas tanks.
So frequent
so-
stops are.
Yeah, well, by the time you drive about an hour and a half, maybe max 2
It's ready
hours,
to go to the bathroom.
you're ready for
You
a
need to
bathroom.
stretch your legs.
Yeah, and kind of, get a deep breath for the next, 100 or so miles.
So the ride takes a bit out of you so far as because if you're in a big SUV, a modern SUV, you could go a couple 3 hours and
Oh, yeah.
you're all relaxed. This is more of an intense ride where your awareness is more.
Yes, because you've got admirers of your vehicle
Right.
that are coming up beside you taking pictures, and as they take pictures they're easing
Yeah.
over, to get a closer shot.
That happens
and
to you.
Yeah, and so it's a little nerve-wracking, but
I usually have guns pointed at me, not
well,
cameras.
we can do that too. we're all legally
Packing.
okay
There you
packing.
go.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
good. Well, that's good to know. I noticed that a couple of the cars out there, well, one in particular, does not have a top on it right now.
That's the
That's
green
yours,
Roadster.
right?
Yeah.
And so, does it have a top? I mean, what if it has a top? So you can put a top on it if it starts raining.
Yeah.
And I assume that all of them are that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're cloth tops. They can either be folded back onto the back of the body, or you can take them off.
And store 'em.
But when you're traveling long distance, we usually keep the tops on strictly for to keep you out of the heat and the sun.
Right.
But mainly when we get to wherever we're going to a show or something like that, we take all the cloth tops off and put them in the hotel room, and from there, I mean, I think the cars are supposed to not have tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they look, with the
Agreed.
exception of maybe April's black Roadster, I think it looks good either way.
So where were y'all from? From around here?
We're in the Spring in
Spring?
Tomball.
Okay.
They live in Tomball, and our shop and our apartment is in Spring. So
Very good.
yeah.
Nice. So how do the cars ride? Do they all ride differently? The
Oh,
different
yeah.
suspensions on each of them?
Well, they're basic suspensions, but they all handle different. They all ride a little bit different. My car, I've settled into it, and it's like a child. If you hear a child cry, you know it's yours. And if I hear something in my car, it's unlike any other car. So the sound of the exhaust, the sound of the engine, I can tell them when we stop someplace, okay, I'm hearing something, here, or it's just not running right, or something like that.
It's like a NASCAR
And,
driver.
Yeah.
Take a little trim out and
Yeah.
lower the track bar, and I put some air in that tire.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Yeah.
So
Now, as far as tires are concerned, I see the black one over there has fairly skinny tires on the back of it. And then there's one next to it, the red one, it's got some fat tires on the back of it.
it's all according to what the customer desires, the style of the build that they want. The black car, we built that car for one of our customers about 8 or 9 years ago. He kept it up until about 2 years ago and was kind of thinning out his collection, and so he offered to sell it, and we loved it. We in April we were in the process of beginning a build for her with a Roadster.
It's all your fault.
Hey,
So
bro.
that's it. Yes.
So anyway, so we bought it back from our customer, and it's just, she and I are in the middle of the road as much as we can. Sometimes it's without them, and sometimes it's we're tagging along behind them or in front of them.
I noticed that on some of the cars, not to be too specific about it, but the black one in particular looks like it's got 32 headlights on it. Are they? Those
Yeah.
are real 32
Yeah.
Well,
headlights.
they
Yeah.
all do. They all kind of look like that.
34 headlights on it. Well, I mean, they're just great big headlights.
The era.
Yeah, right. And so I would assume that that's one of those customization things that go with whatever it is that you want, sir. We'll make
Yeah.
that happen. Are those lights the most popular for that body style? They
Yeah.
are? Yeah. And I assume that the headlights are brought up to modern standards. Yeah. So you don't have to, light the fire and, all of that, behind it. So those are halogen lights in there.
And you talked about at the shop, opening up the shop, doing the build. Where do you go for your parts? I mean, are there different suppliers? Do you do it online, internet? Do you go to 32s R Us or something?
Well, you're not on microphone, so one of these ladies are going to have to give up their headset.
There's specific vendors for certain things that we order in. We have 2 CNC machines where we can make a lot of things.
Great.
I'd like for both of y'all before we leave to go and look at the coupe. Like I said, Danny just finished this coupe middle or end of last year, and there's so many detailed things that are handmade, designed and made strictly with the CNC machine.
Well, I have to tell you that one of the things that I learned actually before I came this morning, believe it or not, I was reading more on this 32 that was in the Hot Rod magazine. And one of the things that interested me was the dash. And the fact that they used the original, I guess it's a 4-gauge or 3-gauge, 3-gauge in the center up there of that original body style. Obviously, it has new gauges in it, but the surround around it was the original style. and I like that.
The red car and the green car are built that way.
Yeah.
They both.
And so, do you have an option as a
Builder?
as a guy that's going to go to you and say, will you build me one? I need some options though for the dash.
Yeah, there's
Hold on.
Here.
Do me a favor and come down here and get. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Let's put him on this headset right here. And I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is, so you're just going to have to tell us.
My name is Danny.
Danny.
She
Okay.
said that, yeah.
All right. So tell me about what you're going to say.
Well, it all comes down to what the customer likes. And when I sit down with a customer for the first time, I kind of view it as like a date where you
Listen, I do too. I just have to say that for everybody.
And so I'll sit down with the customer and kind of figure out if I want to do business with them, if they want to do business with me.
Yeah.
And there's so many different styles that you can put into these cars. Really, the only challenge is
What you want. But and that pretty much goes with any kind of a build. I know that I've built several cars, and I know what you're talking about. But I would imagine that you probably have a narrowed down catalog that most people say, okay, I want either A, B, C, or D dash.
exactly.
And you can help guide them into what it is that they're actually looking for in as far as style is concerned. And I guess with those cars, that goes for pretty much all the elements on the car.
Exactly. You have, in my opinion, a 32 Ford is probably one of the easiest cars to build mechanically and parts-wise because they're so popular, and you can get a lot of aftermarket, and you can still find a fair amount of original parts. Style-wise, and what's accepted in the industry, the car is very limited. It's probably one of the hardest cars to build style-wise because
Well, you're limited by the body.
It is what it is.
Well, it's more along the lines of what people will accept the car to look like.
Right.
You can only go so far before people go, no.
Well, this particular car that was in the magazine, it had been stretched by a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it had the old school front end, but it had been semi-modernized. It had, for instance, disc brakes on the front, drums in the back, and but it had the old school look with the trailing arms in the front. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, wishbones or
Yes,
hairpins or something.
right. And so there were certain elements that were traditional to the build of the 60s of that car. And
Exactly.
that's what this whole car was about.
Mm-hmm.
It was post-World War II and going back to that era with modernized touches. And it was very attractive to me.
Yeah.
Because it had reliability, like the small block Chevy and the 4-barrel carburetor and the regular points distributor and that sort of stuff. So it had that element to it, but it had a modern suspension, coilover shocks, and that sort of stuff. All of that kind of was attractive to me because that car had a transverse leaf spring, if I'm not mistaken, originally.
And yeah, front and rear.
Front and rear. And I have had a leaf spring. It wasn't transverse, but I'll tell you what, it was like no suspension underneath
Very
it
stiff.
whatsoever. It was stiff.
What is a typical time on a build?
The quickest that I've built a car from the ground up, that's starting with a bare pair of frame rails to a running, driving car delivered to the customer, is 10 months. Normally, with the normal workload that we have, is more along the lines of 18 months to 2 years.
Now, this particular car had a frame underneath it that was patterned after the original Model A frame, right?
Well, Model A was 28 to 31, so
Okay, well, whatever that is.
that's 32.
32.
So 32 is a one-year only car, design-wise and parts-wise.
Well, the frame was modernized, but it had the same look.
Exactly. That's
but
very
it was
common.
a boxed frame.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
That's correct. We start with either original frame rails, two of the cars, the Red Roadster and the Coupe, both have original frame rails that are basically 89 years old.
That would scare me.
Well, we go in there and do any kind of repair work that need to be done on the frame rails before we put them in our jig, our fixture that holds them in the correct shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come in and do what we call boxing, which is put a fourth side on the frame, because original frame rails are a C channel type of frame.
Right.
And then we come in and do the cross members, front and rear cross members, center cross members, motor mounts, transmission mounts, all the chassis
stiffen it
mountings,
up.
mounting
stiffen
points.
it up.
Yeah.
And what about the engine? So small block Chevy, like a 283 to 350, something like that. Do you have something that is standard to put in one of these cars?
One of my favorite power plants is actually a 427 small block.
Okay.
There's several manufacturers that have made them in the past, and there's a couple manufacturers that are doing them now. One of our favorites is
Well, isn't GM making a small block 427?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
They have an LS platform motor that is 427.
And it's a small block.
Right. The LS family's motors is considered a small block based on the bore spacing and everything. But our favorite combination is a large cubic inch small block. That way you have it takes up less room in the engine bay, because even though a Chevrolet fits better than a Ford, you're still limited between the radiator and the firewall without moving the firewall back and getting into your footroom.
I also noticed on this particular car I've been referring to that, boy, I'll tell you what, putting headers on that thing, it's tight.
Very.
Very tight. I mean, there's a half an inch on either side. I would be surprised.
Yes, there's and what makes that be able to work is when you have a factory style louvered hood.
Yep.
That especially in the temperatures and the humidities that we have down here in the Gulf Coast, getting the most amount of airflow through the engine bay is required. And especially when you have the headers so close to the hood sides, it helps with protection of the paint and stuff like that.
Now, do you do the louvers yourself?
We do have a louver press to do a 3-inch louver, but on a factory-style louver where it's a long louver,
you can tell.
There's several different manufacturers that either have a factory-style louver or a 3-inch stamped louver.
Gotcha.
Or several of these cars have got original hoods on them that we prefer using as much original sheet metal as we can for the value of the car and for the fitment of the car.
Right.
And so.
Well,
very cool.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
And how lucky you guys are to be able to drive these cars. I mean, I've actually never ridden in one, but you're going to give me a ride someday.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, promise?
We sure will.
Okay.
We can.
Is there a website or anything that you want to let people know?
Bruce'sRodShop.com. Yeah.
That's real hard to remember. Bruce'sRodShop.com. Ladies, thank you, sir.
Our pleasure. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
It's great to
you.
talk to you guys.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us here at In Wheel Time, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Coming up, we're going to do a review of the 2021 Lincoln Navigator Black Label. It's a nice car. Make a good chase car for you guys.
There you go.
Not that you need one, but it'd look good following behind. You know.
I need a T-shirt like that.
Yeah. So at any rate, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. As soon as I get my act together and do the right thing, because I have
Always
not
do the right thing.
Well, I don't, and that's clear by the things that I don't do or do. And right now, I have to
do.
I have to do this.
Do.
Here we go.
When you're ready to shop Chevrolet, we know one that should be at the top of your list. Bayway.
What?
Locally owned by Houston-born and raised Daryl Wisniewski, Bayway brings a sense of family to your Chevrolet buying experience. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chevrolet is located only 8 minutes from the Beltway and Highway 288. Whether it's online or in person, you'll be welcomed like one of the family. BaywayChevrolet.com. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Real Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Real Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place.
All right.
Today, coming to you from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy, Texas. Get
Katy.
down.
Beautiful
In addition
downtown.
to talking to a few of the participants, we'll have this week's auto history and get you updated on the stories making automotive news headlines, and finally get in our review of the Lincoln Navigator. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin and the mysterious Jeffrey Heitzman. I'm Don Armstrong. Yes, and the sound you hear is a hot rod Corvette.
Is it a Corvette?
It is. Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
It is. Can we just pause and listen to that?
All right. I'm going to
Beautiful
change the
music. I'm thinking.
Is it Borla exhaust, maybe?
I'm
lost the camera.
thinking a Katy symphony. And not to offend if there is a Katy symphony, it's not that. That's my symphony. That's the Don Armstrong Katy symphony right there. Just thought I'd mention that to you. So we're kind of going to do this a little bit out of order because it's time for our car review. You notice the time?
Yeah. I'm going to make
a note of that. So
Yes,
when
I
you're
am.
looking for it, you can find it.
No lie. Oh, my
So
gosh.
the In Real Time Car Show car review this time is the 2021 Lincoln Navigator. Comes in 3 trim levels: base, reserve, and black label. I had the black label.
There you go.
How many passengers? Up to 7. The exterior changes from last year, redesigned, all new in 2018. Exterior features include put on your spats to match the conservative sophistication. I wrote that.
I like that.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Stately, fashionable, straight line sides, Navigator front fender badges, full width rear lighting.
Did you write for The Great Gatsby?
Yeah, overall design gets high marks in my opinion. This is really a slick, smooth, bad to the bone ride. Interior highlights: clean, sophisticated dash design, standalone infotainment screen. Floating center console allows plentiful storage underneath it, kind of like the old Lexus RX.
Okay.
Passive phone charger, really cool because you open the door on the center console and your phone kind of slides down, standing on its edge, where you can see
horizontal.
On a vertical, and you can see it down in there. It's kind of tilted towards you, but it's also getting charged and doesn't take
very
up
cool.
as much room.
Cool. Nice.
Cargo trunk room, even with the third row, there's more room back there than you'd ever think. What I liked, comfort level is very high in this. The seats are to die for. You can adjust pretty much every stinking thing in this seat up front.
Huh. That's good.
Didn't you play with all of that?
I did play with it.
Yeah. The seat.
Yeah.
What could use improvement? There are a few plasticky panels on the interior that need a little bling attention, but that's the Don Armstrong review of that. 3.5 liter. It's a small turbocharged V6 that turns out, drum roll, 450 horsepower with 500 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. The tow rating on this, 8,700 pounds.
Wow.
So you, Jeff Zekin,
Yes.
could tow that yacht that you're storing.
I'm looking more of storage for the drum kit in the back.
Oh, yeah. Well, 8,000. No, this is the tow rating.
Yeah.
Okay. Miles per gallon, 16 city, 20 highway for combined of 17. I got 18 over 231.6 miles per gallon. What I liked about it, the perfect power match for this size behemoth. What could use improvement? Absolutely nothing. Don't touch it. Ride and handling, cushy. It's really, really nice. This is the new day limousine. Pricing. Okay, here we go. Base trim price is $98,125. Prices tested, $106,115. The base model price for this car, this SUV, $78,375. It's big. It competes against the Cadillac Escalade that starts at $85,995. The Mercedes-Benz GLS class, it's not as big, but it's still up there, $78,200. Or the Land Rover Range Rover, $103,500. And that's the review of the 2021 Lincoln Navigator Black Label. Thank you for being you.
All right. Beautiful.
All right, now we're going to check in with Mr. Heitzman, who has the events and cruise-in calendar. I'm sorry, not Mr. Heitzman.
I was going to say, I can hand it over to him. Here you go.
No. That would be, there's two Jeffs here today.
Because we need more Jeff.
We need more Jeff.
We do need
and
more
we're
Jeff.
getting more Jeff. So Mr. Zekin
there you go.
has the events and the cruise-in calendar. My apologies.
Well, that's fine. Events, I mean, we're going to bleed this together, events and cruise-ins, because they're so plentiful right now with the weather breaking. There's no storms coming. It is summertime just around the corner. There's no
Next
shutdowns
week.
or anything. Yes, absolutely. So the events, today is the 19th. We've got the Juneteenth celebrations going on throughout the city and the country. We talked about one earlier. The Conroe Cruisers, the Father's Day car show, is blowing and going this weekend. The annual Dad Fest and Car Show, hosted by Clear Lake Cars and Coffee, is actually a 2-day event. It's today going on right now.
Do they have any clean copper clappers there?
I don't know, but
At the Conroe? No.
at the car show hosted by Clear Lake Cars and Coffee.
The
You don't have
car
any-
show in Clear Lake Cars and Coffee with
Yeah.
clean copper clappers. I got that.
That is today and tomorrow, by the way,
Okay.
and it's going on.
All right.
We have several cruise-ins going on throughout the state, and this is very, very cool. You've got one in Austin going on this weekend. It's called the VW Top Notch. It's every third Saturday. It's a monthly thing. So you take your VW, you take your van out there, you take your bugs, all that good stuff, your Carmagias, and it's a very good event. They also have, I love this name, June Bug Rally. is going on.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. You've got car shows and cruise-ins going on in Burnett, Clifton, Georgetown, Goliad, San Marcos, which is right around the corner. And then, of course, with moving on to did you want me to do other
I want you to do events and cruise-ins.
Okay, well, good. That's what I was going to say, the cruise-ins. Cruise-ins, you've got, of course, Randy Shannon's Nifty 50s is going on.
Is that tonight?
I believe so.
Yep.
And you've got Caffeine and Chrome, Gateway Classics, Cars of Houston. That's actually the 25th and the 31st coming up next week and the week after. And here's a special event that I kind of find near and dear, health reasons-wise. I want to bring this up. It is an event. It's called Tune Up for Life. It's a men's health event. This is at St. Joseph's Medical Center. It's rev up your body's engine. And much like you do with your oil changes and your tune-ups and things for your vehicle, this actually is going on. It's free for Men's Health. It's at the MKT Heights on Saturday, which is today, from 9 a.m. to noon. Attendees will have the opportunity to tune up their bodies with a free health screening parallel to the car care regimens that you do for your automobile. I think that's very cool.
You know, when you say it's men's health, I have these visions of some sort of an invasive kind of procedure with gloved hands.
Well, that's this one I'm telling you is free. You may have to pay for that one. Yeah, and it may be
in
more
ways than one.
Maybe after 5. And let's not forget, I'm still rolling
Mr.
here.
Mars, what are you doing?
I'm still rolling.
You trying to fix things?
He's trying to fix
things.
things.
Oh, good. He's got tape.
He's got tape. I'm still rolling here. September 25th, coming up right around the corner, a few months away. We got the Woody's Waterfront Car Show.
We're going to be there.
In San Leon. We're going to be live at the Top Water Grill. Live, remember that. So we will be there. I will be shaking hands and kissing babies.
And he's going to wash his hands first.
Yes. And right after I do my men's health screen. Absolutely. So that's what I've got.
All right.
The end.
And, you know, do you know who our next guest is?
Well, 1 second. I do have a mention, and I forgot.
You said that's
I
it.
I know. I want to mention Gina. Gina's got stuff going on, and I don't want to forget about her. Motorsports Park, July 3rd. So that's coming up right around.
That's under the racing calendar.
That's under the racing calendar.
That's next hour.
Yeah, never mind.
So, yes, on July the 3rd at Houston Motorsports Park, asphalt circle racing here in Houston, Texas. And it is actually the only asphalt circle track racing in Texas.
Yes.
Everything else is dirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So make plans to go. It's Saturday night, July the 3rd. Fireworks, flyover, racing cars on asphalt.
What's on the menu? $1 hot dogs, $1 beers.
There's that. As a matter of fact, everybody here should go. Take your car, have a good time, and go. So it's pro trucks, modifieds, outlaws, eco stocks, super stocks. I think that the NASCARs may be there. Legacies, tickets $15. Kids are $5. Vets are $1. Seniors are cheap. Yes, we are. Hot dogs $1 and beers are $1. That's July the 3rd. Mark it on your calendar. Gulf Coast Racing Series, asphalt racing at its finest on the 3/8 mile asphalt at Houston Motorsports Park. Be there or be square. Mr. Mars?
Yes, sir.
I saw you running around the parking lot with tape.
It's awesome.
Well, I'm not through yet, but I'm working on it. But I did want to introduce our next guest.
Is this in lieu of those zip tie handcuffs?
I hadn't thought of that, but I will.
Well, that's what I thought. He's out there with, duct tape and
rope.
I'll have to remember that.
Okay.
In case I get into a bind and need some zip ties.
He's got a cloth, and he walks up to you. Does this smell like ether?
Yeah, that's right. Are these roofies?
Speaking of which, around the corner, there sits, on the other side of the building from us, there sits a sky blue, light blue.
Reef turquoise.
Reef turquoise.
Reef turquoise. I came up with that name myself. Just wanted you to know you're looking at the inventor.
Yeah. So it's a 1966 GTO convertible.
Nice.
It's got 3 deuces under the hood.
Oh.
And Steve Butts is here to tell us about that beautiful car.
Steve,
take it away.
We love you, Steve. We all want to ride in that.
That's what I'm thinking.
So is the 3 deuces, that's the stock engine for that car?
It is.
It's an option.
Yes.
Yes, it was an option.
It's a PHS documented car. I've had it for about 3 years. I did not do the restoration on it, but pretty much everything is.
You did.
I did not.
You did. You did do the restoration on it with your wallet.
Yeah, I did. I did pay dearly for it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But pretty much as it was built, a few things have been changed out. I did switch the transmission to a 3-speed automatic when the other one was shot, just for better drivability, and I added disc brakes to the front.
Because it originally had a 2-speed
yeah.
power slide. 2-speed
Super Turbine is actually the correct.
Oh, pardon me. I beg your pardon.
I've been corrected more than once.
Yeah. And now
well,
I
it is
have
Father's
too.
Day.
Yes.
Yeah. So this particular car was of the original John DeLorean bunch, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And once he started the GTO thing and it took off immediately, I think it was the 64 was the first one?
Yes.
Yeah. And so here we are 2 years later, and so, okay, let's bump up the horsepower a little bit. Let's put, dual carbs on it. Let's make it look really good. Let's add some bling to it and make it GTO instead of a Le Mans. And so what hooked you to this particular car?
So I learned to drive on a 1966 Tempest.
Of course you did, yeah.
A 326 V8 with the Super Turbine transmission.
So it was the Le Mans.
It was the Tempest. It
Tempest.
was one lower than the Le Mans, yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
That was the 4-door car. And shortly after that, I had a friend who bought his brother had bought a brand new GTO in 1966, went to Vietnam, came back, was tired of the car, so he sold it to his brother. It was worn out, so we pulled the engine, 389, 3-deuce, 4-speed, overhauled it, and that's kind of when I was hooked on GTOs. And fast forward through life and kids, and finally got to a position where I've played with cars a lot, but I wanted the GTO, and I looked for quite a while and actually found that one at the Mecum Auto Auction. And luckily, I think I got a good one. There was very little that I could find wrong with it. So,
nice.
I mean, with a 66 car, you're chasing gremlins all the time. But
sure.
For the most part, it's a solid driving car.
And by the way, I just wanted to throw out there and just add this to the mix of this show today, is that my next car is going to sound like that car. Even if it has to come through a Bose speaker, it makes no difference. But just the smell of the exhaust.
Yeah, you can smell
itself.
it. That's a little bit different octane scent.
Yeah, it is, and it's clearly jetted up.
And I know my octanes.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Yeah. So I want that sound.
Your neighbors won't like it, but I like the sound as well.
I don't care. At this point in life, I don't care about the neighbors. I used to care about the neighbors. I don't care about the neighbors
Well, you
anymore.
have a big empty lot and a nice street, and then you've got a big parking lot, and then there's a church.
And I got the biatch that lives down at the corner down there. And I hope she's listening. And I'll be sure and rev that up. Give it about $5,000 right in front of her house. Just say it.
I understand.
So I have a little bit of anger issue with her, and if with a car like that, I could solve that problem right away.
Yes.
And you can relate. We
I
can relate
to that.
Yeah, we've got that. Does your car sound like that?
No, my car just has a good rumble, but it's not overly loud. I actually thought about putting a little louder muffler on it just because.
Just because you could.
Yeah, just because I can.
How often do you drive your car?
Lately it's been at least once a week. For a long time it was sitting
Nothing,
in the garage
right.
and not doing much, but it's good to get it out. The weather's good. Headed out last Saturday at a car show, and boy, it was brutally hot, but
we
stuck
know
it
that
out.
feeling. Yeah.
Stuck it out.
What car show did you go to?
It was the one over on Fry Road. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, and by 2 I was cooked. I just want to go home.
Yeah. Now, does the Pontiac have air conditioning? No.
Oh yeah, it does. You put the top down. Other than that, no.
No.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it still gets pretty warm.
And have you been to any judged shows with the car?
Yeah, it's I've been out 4 judge shows, and I've won 3 trophies. So it does.
Great.
It shows good.
That's a good average.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think as the shows go, though, if you keep going to the shows with the same cars, you got to go somewhere new. where
Well,
they haven't
either
seen
that
the
or you
car.
got to change the paint color or the top color or the interior or
Pay
something like
the
that.
judges. Judges
Pay
can
the
be
judges.
bought.
But, there are so many car shows, and especially judged ones these days, you could spend the rest of your life and never hit the
tour around.
Yeah.
But there's tons of beautiful cars. People have invested a lot of money in
Yes,
cars.
they have.
Yeah.
And,
right here, you can see that.
Well, yes, we can. And this is, Stan's a friend of mine. You know Stan?
Yeah, I just
Stan
met
Hope?
him. I just met him.
Very
yes.
good, yeah. And he is the ultimate car guy. Yeah. Drag racer and show cars and cool cars, whatever. The Pontiac.
Yeah, I commented on his Pontiac, and he told me it was original paint, and I
Yes.
said, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
And that's his white Corvette over there in the corner on the end as well.
Okay, I saw that one as well.
So, plans for the car? Drive it, enjoy it?
Drive it, enjoy it.
How is it
I debate on the air conditioning piece. I don't want to mess it up, but boy, it sure would be nice to have air conditioning.
You are in
Texas.
Houston.
I have to tell you that we had an opportunity at the last Lone Star Throwdown to talk with the guys at Vintage Air.
Yep.
Yes.
They have a package that I think that you would serve yourself right if you checked into Vintage Air, because if you want that under dash look, it's period correct for the car.
Yeah.
Boy, they've got a package that is sweet and it works real good.
And they're really located right outside of San Antonio.
You're talking me into it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they're there. They're just northeast off of 35. I don't remember which little town it is, but they're right there.
And I have to tell you that, the guy that we met at the Lone Star Throwdown, that small booth, inconspicuous, laid back, not a big deal, but very nice, and they're really all about customer service.
He had some displays out for what would fit your vehicle, what would fit his vehicle, and so on, and how would they go about it. So
Yeah,
it was
I've
very
done
nice.
a little bit of research on it.
Yeah.
It's a clean setup for sure.
Yeah, and if at some point you want to sell the car and put it back to the original, it's an easy deal for that.
Or it could be an upsell too. It could be part of something.
Very
that
much
they
so.
want.
Well, the car's not a concourse car. It's just a really solid driver.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much it really hurts it, but
Yeah.
that's my only concern.
Yeah.
But, when it gets to be 95 degrees out, those concerns melt away.
Yes, we are very well aware.
There's not a cloud in the sky today.
Yeah.
This could be one of those days.
I think so.
Yeah, we did a remote last weekend at Bayway Chevrolet for Wheelchairs for Warriors from 2 to 6.
Oh, wow.
We baked.
Yeah, you started in the heat of the day.
Yeah.
We did. Yes, we did.
Well, we had to
Actually,
set up.
Yeah,
we were kind of thinking it's going to get hot, but we had no idea.
Yeah.
the problem is that we didn't realize that the cameras don't like the heat either.
Really?
And especially in the direct sunshine. No, not so much. But we had a good time, and they raised a lot of money for Wheelchairs for Warriors. It was a great event.
Really
And
was.
those are the kind of things that we enjoy going to and supporting. And I know that a lot of the guys, there might even be somebody here that went to that. It's one of those kind of shows that you want to be a part of. And your car would be double thumbs up.
Yeah, there were hundreds of entries.
Yeah. And
the one thing about the car shows, that having bought the car and been to quite a few of them, is the people are just great.
yes, they are.
It's a great culture. Everybody's friendly. They want to come talk cars, and I grew up with cars, so I like to talk about them.
Are you a Houstonian?
I am not. I'm actually from Kentucky.
Oh,
but
okay.
I've been here since '96, so my kids are all Houstonians.
There you go.
We like Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about the family and how people are, those 432 Fords out there. I mean, that is one family.
Really?
The son and his wife and the mother and the mother-in-law. I mean, that's what drove those 4 cars out here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a great hobby.
Yeah, from Spring. So they had a little haul this morning, but apparently one of the cars now has 14,000 miles on it, and they drive it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure in their quest over here, they were lined up and drawing all kinds of
Oh, I'll
attention.
bet they were.
And
Like,
that's what they
parade.
said.
Part of
'Cause
the
they can-
discussion.
They can only go 100 miles on the tank.
Yeah.
So there's that. Listen, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and we hope to see the Pontiac out again.
It'll be out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. All right. I haven't done any headlines this morning.
Thanks, sir.
And should I do some headlines?
Why not?
Well, I gathered up headlines to do.
Now,
So
we're going to make some headlines.
We got a whole
we're gonna
mess
do our
of
own
recalls that I'm kind of going to breeze over here.
Let's talk about it.
Heavy-duty, Super Duty Fords from the 2021 model year. Wheel hub extenders may be improperly attached. In other words, they could be unattached before you know it.
Wheel hub extenders.
Yeah. They're heavy duties.
Okay.
So I would probably
okay,
the dual wheels or
dualies,
something.
That's all
Yeah.
right.
Airbag inflator may explode or underinflate the bag on all of the BMW 3 Series from the 99 model year to the 2001 model year. Steering knuckle or rear axle housing can deform in the Infinities from the 2020 and 2021 model years. Water intrusion into the front wheel wells. How does that?
I don't.
That makes no sense to me.
Under the front wheel wells.
Yeah. No, it says into the front wheel wells.
So there's that.
I don't know. Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 2020 model year. Mercedes-Benz side curtain airbags may not deploy properly in the GLB. It's the same one. GLB 250 for the 2020.
Huh.
So the Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 needs some help, clearly. Also, front passenger airbag may not deploy properly. Yikes. Get rid of that car.
Mm-hmm.
Improperly mounted rear headrests on the Mercedes-Benz AMG C43, 63, 63S, the E53, the C300, and the E450 in the 2021 model year.
There's a right and a left, and is there flipping them backwards?
Front seat wiring harness routed incorrectly in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, 1500, 2500, 3500, 19 model year to 2021. The Mercedes-Benz user experience called the MBUX system is awry in the Sprinter, 15, 25, 35, and 4500, 19 to 21 model.
That's
the Volkswagen ID4, that electric thing, headlights can be misadjusted. Volvos, 19 to 2020 model year, low pressure fuel pump can fail. Don't let that happen. A bunch of 2021 model year Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC's airbag light may not indicate a malfunction. Cadillac, XT5, XT6, and the Acadia from 2021 fuel supply lines are properly
That's got to be a misprint.
Tire failure may cause sudden air loss in the Chevy and GMC Silverado 1500s and the Sierra 1500s from 2019, and the Land Rover Defender from the 2020 to 2021. Go ahead and have that crushed. The PCM may switch off and cause an engine start.
Anybody in the crusher business?
Not a big Land Rover fan. No. Nor am I a fan of the Jaguar. They don't know. They don't want to give a lowly journalist like myself a loan.
Well, that's because I dissed the Jag.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
I tore it up.
Did you tear it up? Good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Tune in to last week's podcast.
So we'll have more headlines coming up in the next segment, but we're going to take a quick break here on the In Wheel Time program.
Time has flown.
It really has.
It has.
We're going into the last hour of the program.
We've got a full car show going on. Look at that. There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Absolutely GT.
And we got him on camera. Here we go.
Quick time for a break. We'll be right back. You're on the In Wheel Time car show. Stay with us.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one coming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Real Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show. Today, coming to you from the monthly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In at the fabulous Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy, Get Down, Texas.
Do you think we could do this every week?
Just ahead, we talked with a few of the show participants. We need more. Jeff will tout his pre-owned car of the week, the 2019 Nissan 370Z.
Yes.
We got the racing calendar. We're going to have the car clinic. You got the car clinic? You doing the car clinic?
I do have a car. Well, I've got this week in auto
we got
history.
some stuff.
Yeah, we got. We
got stuff.
We got it.
We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines. I promise you this time that we are going to get to the stories making news headlines. So there's that.
Yes.
Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. Engineer Jeffrey Heitzman.
Yes.
I am Ray Armstrong. And we thank you so much for joining us today. There's a story behind that, and I'll tell you sometime.
I'm packing up. I'm leaving.
Off the air.
I'm out of here.
Good. So, it's been a great show, a great cruise in. Still got an hour to go.
It went by fast. The place is packed.
It is. It's been a great turnout, and this one will be done in about an hour. Thank you, Sheila May.
Look at that blonde ponytail that's just barely on the camera.
That's it. But you know what I love? I love the Beetlejuice shirt.
Thank you, Ray Ray.
Thank you. See, she said Ray Ray. So, thank you.
If I drink this, am I going to be Ray Ray? I don't know.
You can be.
You could be, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Mars, your turn.
One of the things we keep talking about, the cars that come out here to this event, that's one of the reasons we love it with all the stuff that we're seeing. And back over there in the corner,
another
corner
shop,
snuck in was this 1969 El Camino. Real healthy sounding El Camino.
El Camino.
We saw him
my
go
daughters, mind you, my daughters are 28 and 35. They don't like El Caminos, but they don't get El Caminos.
That's right.
But I love El Camino.
They need to watch the movie El Camino.
So when I was working at the Chevrolet dealership, there was a mechanic there that had a 64 El Camino. It did not have a stock engine in it. He had goosed up the small block in it. Now, me personally, I appreciate big blocks. Do you have a big block?
No, it's a 350.
So he's got a small block. And one thing I love about small blocks, you goose them up a little bit, make them right, and you can wind those things right up.
Wind them up tight.
Tight. And they sound so good, they sing when they're wound up tight.
Yep. And the one that Doug Keener here has not only sounds good, but you pop under the hood, it looks really, really good.
I could tell by the way he cuts his hair.
I think
Well, I hadn't thought of that, but let's take a look here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you
We
see
should
any
zoom in.
similarities?
Yeah.
There's that. So, Doug, congratulations. How long have you had the car?
We've had it just a little over 2 years.
That's all.
Yes.
So, did you buy it in this condition?
No, sir. It had some kind of custom interior in it. We took all
Velour?
that. Yeah, it had some velour in it. Yeah.
Seersucker.
Seersucker.
There's not to interrupt you, but the 32 Ford family is rating out.
Okay. Well, we're going to get back to Doug in just a moment. They're waiting for everybody to gather up behind them.
Yeah,
I really like those wheels on the front.
Yeah.
The backs, I like those too. That's really a nice gray paint job.
Yeah, kind of pewter.
Yep.
And
It's a popular color now.
That's the wife in the black.
There you go.
Yep.
Waving.
Those are the wheels that I prefer.
Oh, there's Mom.
There's Mom.
Bye. See you later.
Mom.
Let's give it a little punch it.
So are we showing
Wait,
you
yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
There he goes. There's Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Good to
Take
see
care,
you.
Dad.
We'll
Thanks
rev
for
it up.
stopping by.
Vroom.
So
fun.
that's
That was my 32 impression.
That's Bruce's Rod Shop that just went by here.
Yeah.
Great folks. And
Bruce'sRideShop.com.
they hand build all those cars. They take anywhere from 10 to 18 months to build. Boy, they.
And I love the fact that
You're a car
Mom,
guy. You appreciate it.
Mom and Dad are driving it too.
I know.
It's not just Dad.
And you know what? The other thing is that I love about it is that Mom, who I imagine is a grandma,
Sure.
she's of that age, and I can say that because I am.
Sure.
And
Yes,
she
you
knows
are.
her stuff
You
when it
are a
comes to
grandma.
one to the, well, how many cubic inches is it? Spits it right out. Knows
Oh,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
All that sort of stuff. So, I regress. Please continue on. So it had a ratty interior in it that apparently has been changed.
Yes, and we went back to a more, not exactly stock, but more stock looking with a low back seat.
So a bench seat.
No, it's got bucket seats.
It's got buckets.
Yes. and-
Because back in the day when that car was new, the thing was the bench seat.
Right. I always wanted one with a bench seat and a 4-speed, but when you're young, you can't afford these things.
But now that you're older, there's a little bit of cash back there, and I bet you that you can check. No, there's no cash. Mama's saying no, there's no more
She
cash.
said, I'm over the limit for this year.
This year. So there's hope for next year.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, go ahead.
And we changed the interior, and this year we attacked the engine and transmission.
Oh, well, hell, that's the reason there's no money left.
That's right.
You
yes.
spend it all under the hood.
Yes,
That and more.
Don't listen to this. Don't listen to this.
we
No, yeah. She's still suffering through all
yeah.
this. Anyway, so what did you do under the hood?
we started the transmission. We took the transmission out. We changed and put a reverse pattern valve body. We went to a 10-inch converter, and then on the engine we tore it down to the short block, changed the cam, lifters, installed aluminum heads.
You did all this yourself.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
My father was a mechanic. I wasn't. So it just
Oh.
handed down.
Yep.
And we just got it out last month.
Really?
Well, I'm slow.
Well, but it's the real
Methodical.
definition of a fresh motor.
Methodical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a fresh good wrench long block when I bought the truck. So
Gotcha.
everything's new and works good. Hopefully soon we can attack the body, and
Does it need body work?
yes, it needs a little body work.
Has it got rust issues?
Yes, at the quarter panels.
We need body work.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad. But that's pretty typical for that.
Well, yeah, it's not as bad as I would have expected when I bought the car.
Where's the car originally from? Do you know?
Yes, somewhere up around Marble Falls, and it made its way into Arkansas, where they did a off-frame, not restoration, because they changed the color. It was originally a green car.
Well, there's a lot of speed shops up in Marble Falls because they do a lot of boat drag racing up there.
Yeah.
Off the lake. Yeah.
And it made its way from Arkansas back to Houston. That's all I know.
You know this. And what year is it? 66?
69.
A 69. Oh, okay. It's a 69. Because the 64 was a more squared body.
Yes. The
Yeah.
64 and 65 looked alike.
Right.
And
So 66 they changed it, and that's the body style that you have in the
no,
69.
66 went to a more square, kept a square front end. 66 is all by itself, like 70. 66 has got a different front end. The hood and fenders are different.
See, I'm sorry, I'm not schooled in El
I wasn't either.
Caminos.
It's just travails. And,
Yeah. So this is a one-off body year.
well, it's very similar to 68. But, yeah, 68 and 69 look alike. The taillights are different. The grill is different.
Yep.
And for some reason, Chevelle's lost the vent window in 69. But the El Caminos kept it because the station wagons kept it. And they are based off of,
Same platform.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they've got leftover parts.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So let's just keep the vent windows.
yeah.
Personally, I like vent
I
windows.
do too,
do
because
too.
it's not air
I
conditioned.
appreciate the look.
There you go.
I appreciate the look of non-vents,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm old school.
It's the
Yeah.
functionality. You turn them in, and you get the wind blowing in my hair and all that. And it gets my
Well,
eyes.
you
It's
used to blow in your hair
Well,
anyway.
people
Well,
don't
When you
know
had
that.
hair.
That's it.
Does it have air conditioning?
It's sitting in the living room floor.
Is it? So we're
Yes.
working on that. So those
It
vent
got
windows.
too hot to put the air conditioning on.
Yeah. So the vent windows come in handy
Yeah.
at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Going down the highway at 55, 60 miles an hour,
You're fine, yeah.
absolutely just fine. And are they crank vent
Yeah.
windows?
Yeah.
Crank vents. So you can adjust the angle to catch more wind right in your face or not so much.
Right, right.
So when you're smoking cigarettes
Oh.
going to, well, I'm just saying, 1969, hey.
yeah, well,
the
in
Marlboro
69,
Man.
I probably smoked, but
Yeah. So we're working on the body. That's
Yeah,
next.
that's
We've
next.
done the interior, and you got the motor done. So
Yes.
it runs and
yeah.
drives good.
Yeah, we're
Have you done
going-
anything to the suspension?
No, all of that had been changed when they took the body off the frame.
Okay. Did they put disc brakes in the front?
Yes, in the front.
Thank God.
I want to put them all the way around. But the right way is to change master cylinder, booster, and all.
Yeah, you have
do,
to go through the system. You
Yeah,
can't
you
just
have to-
do one or the other,
no,
piecemeal it. Yeah.
But you know
Absolutely.
what? I had forgive me, I had a 66 Corvair that had four-wheel drum brakes.
Yep.
They worked fine. This is not a hot rod that I was driving.
Right.
They worked fine. The only thing that I would have done to it was put discs up front.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, that was the thing back in the day.
Right.
All of the hot rods, the people that knew what they were doing, discs in the front, drums in the back. That's just the way that it
Well,
was.
made
some
it
of that was
easier to
for
do a
looks.
burnout. Yeah.
Well, it made it easier to do the burnouts, yeah, but it also was looks, like on the roadsters and stuff where you could see it.
Yeah.
Like on your Corvair and stuff, it's kind of,
Man, nobody looked at that stuff back in my day. Nobody cared.
No,
They
not
also-
unless it was in
It was
your
all about
face.
the functionality.
Yeah.
Now, modern days, like on the 32s we saw, you can get packages where it looks like a drum, but there's actually a disc inside.
Yeah, I saw that.
There are
It's like a
aftermarket
cover.
products.
Seriously, I didn't
Yes.
know
I
that.
didn't
It's-
notice
you
that.
have to change the hubs and the spindles and
And
some
it's
of the
got
geometry.
A big finned
Right.
looking drum.
Some of the
that goes
geometry, and it
over
looks like you've
Wow.
got a drum, but there's actually a disc inside.
Didn't know that.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't know what it costs, but there are options like
Yeah.
that.
I would say it's very expensive.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Because stuff like that,
But you have
you're
to look
trying
at
to keep the look.
Short
Yeah.
term or long term, I mean, are you going to be able to stop in time? Stopping
Right.
is the main thing.
Right.
And then also the cost effectiveness long run to do pads rather than drums and
Yeah.
all that.
So
jazz.
you mentioned the fact that you're going to tackle the body work next.
Yes.
You're gonna what color are you gonna keep it?
I-
You gonna keep it that color?
Yes, I think we're going to go back. Right now it's some kind of pearl orange. I don't know what it is, but we're going back.
It's almost got a little flake in it.
Yeah, it's got a pearlescence over what looked like a hugger orange,
Yeah.
They painted it that as a base and then went over it.
well, Hugger
Interesting.
Orange is a GM color.
Yeah. And I don't know. When I bought it, I said, God, this is an orange car. I don't know if I want an orange car. But it kind of grows on you after a year
Yeah,
or so.
yeah. I would not go and order an orange car
No,
myself.
I wouldn't either.
However, a friend of mine, his dad bought him a 1969 from the factory Camaro Z28 with the 302 Hugger Orange with the black stripes. So that still resonates in my head,
Yeah.
and it's a hot rod color.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's not something that you would go to the high school and pick up the kids.
No, I don't guess.
The
no.
kids would be driving it.
Yeah.
And, we want to be
The kids again.
Yeah, and we're still kind of there up here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Am I right or?
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Oh, shut up! Don't look at me that way. You are too. I know you, and you too.
Yeah, he's hitting me.
Whatever anybody done when they were a kid, they want to go back to that. If it was cars or if it was anything else, you want to go back to it.
Yes, you do.
I had a 72 Nova, and it was an orange flame factory color. And
Yeah.
it was like one step below a red.
Yeah.
And it's in the color schematic book for General Motors of that year. Yeah, it's a beautiful color.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I like a lot of those original colors. Now I do not like that god awful green.
That's what it was. I
That-
like an olive green metallic.
It's like
It was with a dark green vinyl top.
so.
That's why they painted it orange.
My good friend Puss Wilson,
Oh, boy.
he had the green Renault Dolphin. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
I
So,
almost
and that's
reviewed
where
With a
that-
name like that, you got to expect it.
And, and that's where that color needs to resign
Yeah.
just before it goes to the crusher.
Right.
I almost
exactly.
reviewed that car this week.
You know, I beg you next weekend to get the last model of the Renault, not Renault.
I
but
call it Renault.
No, it's Renault Dolphin.
I just wrote it down. It's
Okay.
coming your way.
All right.
Stay tuned.
I don't even know what.
So
you-
let it be
what-
written, so let it be done.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
There you go.
This is going to be good. So, we might have to call Michael Woody, and get him to help us in a actual do a deal.
Video.
No, you have to have it. Do some research and find out how much that car would be worth today.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Maybe we can give him a call.
It'd be
Get
easy
us-
to find
give
out
us
how
a
much
call
it-
in, a quick call.
It'd be easy to find out how much it cost back in the day.
Sure.
$10, 20, 50 on a good day. But
You know what? I'm going to surprise the you-know-what out of you.
do that.
I will.
Now, I mean,
Please do
if we're gonna do used car reviews, I mean, I think we need to throw one of those
Pre-owned.
in there every
Pre-owned.
once
We
in a while.
moved up from used. We were up to pre-owned
Used
now.
is, they're
No,
gently
no.
loved. Gently
This,
loved.
sir, would be a used car. It would not be a pre-owned. Because people would not admit to owning it.
Yeah.
Do you see how we digress a lot in this? Yeah. That's nice.
I like
Yeah,
the way
long-
that truck
I
sounds.
really, when I first saw that pull in, I thought it was Lonnie.
It's a
I did
long
too, yeah.
wheelbase.
Except it's just not lowered enough for long.
Yeah, but I think he's got a second one now that he
Yeah, he
hasn't
does.
lowered.
He's got a Ford and a Chevy, I believe.
And
I
I
think it's
like,
two
I like
Fords,
the
but
way
anyway,
it sounds, and it's a long bed. Sorry.
It's
we did-
fine.
yeah.
Digressing again.
This
Squirrel.
is one of the that squirrel. So this is one of those car shows where we just kind of
Well, it is a car
Go all
show,
over-
and we have to get
Yeah.
distracted. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts to this.
so. Do they make body panels for
Yes.
the El Camino?
Yes.
They stamp those still, and you can buy replacement panels.
Yes. We're looking at changing the whole quarter because we know where the rust is. We don't know where it might be somewhere else.
Do you know if the thing has ever been hit?
It's been hit since right before I bought it. But it got, a little ding at the tail light. It's got a little ding above there.
No, I'm talking about hit.
No, it's
with
not.
10 pounds of mud on the left rear
no.
quarter.
Oh no!
No.
You don't put mud on it anymore. You
Listen,
redo
I
it with
re-
metal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
when
now,
I went,
are you skilled to do that kind of work?
Yes.
You are?
Well, my father said I wasn't going to make it as a mechanic because I couldn't degree a race cam at 10, so he put me in the body shop.
So you're a body shop guy.
I was. I can still do it. Right now, I'm a welder.
Welding is
well,
cool.
that
kinda-
That's
that
very
kinda
body
cool.
goes
shop
along
and
with being in a
welding.
body.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what a welding.
Yeah. I
what,
can
what
do
that?
that.
Yeah. What it does to body panels if you're not careful, warps them all over the place.
Stretch the metal before you weld it. All that good
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. So and your garage is set up. We got a
No.
welder and all that.
No, the welder's on the way. She just don't know it.
No.
But we won't tell her.
Oh.
Wish we had a shot of her face when you just said
Yeah.
that.
Oh. Yeah. There's that.
And then the neighbors have to put up with it.
Oh, you have neighbors. They
You
can
know
move.
what? We
That's
don't
right.
care.
Let them move.
Like I said to you at the beginning, we don't care about the neighbors anymore. Now, if Larry and Susan next door are listening, that does not apply to you.
There you go.
Larry and
That's
Susan
your
are cool.
neighbors.
I know his neighbors are very cool.
Yeah. But so we know of one panel that needs to be replaced.
That's all. Both quarter panels I would like to replace. That's all I know that would.
How much does a quarter panel cost?
You can go anywhere from between 100 and 200 to 400 to 500.
So you're talking about either Chinese
or
panels,
and then you can get a $200 quarter panel. That's U.S., but it's not the full quarter. It doesn't wrap all the way into the door. It stops an inch short, which means you got to do body work all the way down. Yeah.
You got to put the lip and the edge on it and all that.
Yeah, no.
Probably around the fender, the wheel well.
Oh, heck no. We're too old for Jack
That's
with
it.
that.
I just want to do a little bitty body work on the sail.
Yep.
And weld everything else.
Right.
With your new welder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And, well, to be honest with you, my youngest daughter, Katy, actually went to a welding school.
Perfect.
And took a Saturday welding lesson
Good.
at a welding shop, loved it, and said, Dad, now this daughter is an astrophysicist.
Okay.
A real thing.
And she says to me, I think I'd like to do that.
Hit it.
Not after the amount of money that we're still paying on that education for that degree, you're not. Now, as a side thing, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
As a hobby, I get it. And I personally, I
want to do it.
I do. Because it's one of those things, it's kind of like power washing.
Oh.
You know, you start with the power washer, and then it's like, dang, that looks really good. Let's do that section.
Yeah.
Then that section. And then when you're 100 feet down the driveway.
You're grabbing the neighbor's cat.
And you're doing the neighbor's driveway.
Yeah. Absolutely. All
Just
the
'cause he's not
sidewalks
home,
and
yeah.
all the sidewalks and all that. You can relate.
Yeah.
Doing the neighbor's
Yeah.
wife. Yeah.
I think that's what I liked about body work and painting when I was young. You could take something that didn't look that great, but when you got done, you could say, I did that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know,
self-gratification kind of thing.
Yes.
And with these television shows now on Motor Trend TV, you know,
Which
I
I watch
get
all
this.
of them.
Huh?
I watch all of them.
We all do too.
We talk about it all the time.
And so we see somebody that is really skilled at welding. It's like, dang.
Did you see that?
Like the guy here in Houston, Extensive Metal.
Yes.
Those guys, oh my God, talk about talent.
Yes.
And they're young, very skilled at what they do, and when they get done, you cannot tell that there was a weld anywhere on that panel.
That's right.
It
It's amazing
is
that they can
truly
do that.
amazing that they can do that to that extent.
It takes patience.
Yes, clearly.
And practice.
Yeah.
Lots of practice.
Yeah. And I mean, and those guys build their own panels.
Yes.
Hammer and dolly
I-
stuff,
yeah.
and you know, it's truly an art form. There's no doubt about it.
Perfect.
It's true.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was
Thank
a
you for having
pleasure
me.
talking to you. You coming back next month?
If the rain allows me.
We don't. It's kind of like going to the racetrack. We don't say rain.
I know.
Next
yeah,
month's July. It don't rain in Houston in July, even
No.
if we want it to.
Yeah,
Okay.
that-
All
Yeah,
right.
we
pretty
want you
much
to be a
it.
friend of the show. So watch the show on YouTube and all these social media places,
Okay.
and give us a like, and it'd be great.
We'll see you next month.
You bet.
Y'all come back.
Take care.
Now you hear?
Swimming pools, movie stars.
That's it. All right. Well, thanks so much. We really appreciate you stopping by. All right. Time now for this week's pre-owned car of the week.
Oh yeah, I think I've got
Now,
that.
we're not going to talk about the Renault
No, that's-
Dolphin.
We'll get
This
to
week,
that.
Mr. Zekin has the Nissan 370Z. I remember when the 240Z came out,
Yeah.
and we all went,
A
ooh.
little cool two-seater.
Well, this is the same family. It's just an updated to 2019, and I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, I like the car, and when I do a review, I see it and I say, that's pretty interesting. That's very nice. My brother actually owns this vehicle. He actually has owned vehicles from the 240 era. He gets them, keeps them a couple of years, the new body styles come out and he changes. So this is a 2019 Nissan 370Z. You've got a hardtop, you got a roadster, and you got a convertible. Mike, which one you want? Great, we're going to do the hardtop. It is a
I don't
sports.
think I've ever seen a convertible.
There are convertibles. It's a sports compact hardtop. It's a 2-passenger vehicle. Yeah, we know that because it is a small vehicle. So far as the exterior, you've got sculptured front fascias, side panels that are very designed into aerodynamics. You've got rear covers, side rocker panels are redesigned. some of the design features on the mirrors, the spoilers. Here's one thing about the exterior is that there's companies out there, either through Nissan or through aftermarket, that have a full range of accessories for the vehicle. You got front and rear bumper covers. You've got side moldings, rear wheel well accents. You've got spoilers, wings, hoods, wheels, and then tools. There's specialty tools for the vehicle as well. Interior designs, you got typical luxuries of a sports car as well as a luxury car. You got leather, you got heated seats, you got steering wheel covers, USB connections, rechargeable dash pods, which for the passive phone charger systems. Yeah. So they've got that. I'm going to turn my page because we're a little thumb constricted here. The engine size is a 3.7. It's a V6, and you got a 4-cylinder option as well. It's a 24-valve dual overhead cam rear wheel drive, 350 horsepower on the 6-cylinder, and you got 332 on the 4-cylinder turbo, which isn't
that's not much different.
There's not much difference. There it is what it is.
Can I just say this?
Yes,
Let
sir.
me just interrupt.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Conrad.
I don't want any of that.
Go ahead,
I
Conrad.
want the straight 6-cylinder with the side draft carburetors.
You
That
have
was
options.
a badass motor.
You have options, but the turbo 4-cylinder, you've got almost the same.
No.
Almost.
I don't want that. It doesn't have the same torque.
Okay. Yourself. All right, 270 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPM. You've got 2 options on the transmission, Don. You've got an automatic 7-speed, and then you've got a manual 6-speed.
6-speed manual.
19 miles per gallon in the city, 26 on the highway with a 22 combined.
Yeah.
You've got a 19-gallon fuel tank, which requires the premium fuel. So far is the what am I looking at here? Ride and handling. You've got options on the tires. You got 18s and 19s. You got 275/35 HR 19s, which comes on it. You got 18s and 19s as an option. Front and rear stabilizer bar, 4-wheel ABS, vented discs, 4-wheel independent suspension. The vehicles range from 30,000 to 45,000. The convertible is in the high end of that. Yeah.
Used?
Yeah, pre-owned.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Why would anybody want?
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to spend that kind of money on that car?
Well,
Dang,
it's
I
a
wonder what a
convertible
new
and
one
it's a
is.
hot rod, and you said a V6, 3.7,
No.
350 horsepower. People buy them. You've got 6
Would you
extra-
buy it?
Me personally, because it's no functionality for me. I would love the car, but
I don't know
it doesn't
anybody
do-
that would want that.
it has no practicality for me.
None.
I haul a lot of music equipment, studio equipment for
Okay.
y'all.
Yeah.
And stuff
So,
like that. Moving on.
as a garage queen, would you buy something like that for the garage queen? No.
No, I wouldn't. But people do, and that's why we're doing this.
Some people really love those
They do.
7D cars.
Here's a kicker for you. There's 6 exterior colors, and if you wanted the white pearl, you got to add another $400 onto that. If you wanted the red, add another $300 onto that. And there's only 2 interior colors, and they're both black. One's leather with gray inserts, cloth inserts, and that nature. But anyways,
there's only 2 interiors available, and they both suck.
No, that's the Jag.
That's the
That's
Jag.
the Jag.
Right,
Jag
yeah,
that we
was
did
the
last
Jag.
week. That was last
Come on,
week.
you need to get updated on the
keep
Jag.
up with the program
There
here.
you go.
Oh
The
my
end.
God.
Love
the
it.
end. Listen, I am a huge inline 6 kind of guy. That was the success of that car. I saw a new Toyota Supra on the road yesterday.
Yeah. Really?
I'm just sorry, it just doesn't do
They're
it.
cool cars. I like
the
them.
way
People
the
buy
new
'em.
one looks, but I don't like the way
No,
it
I
just
don't
doesn't
like
have
the
it
way it
for me.
looks. Why did they go?
Not for me.
Why do you take a great car, a Toyota Supra? Remember when they first came out?
Yeah.
They were affordable. They weren't the fastest car, but they had some
Add some
juice.
Yeah.
They looked good. They handled good. And they were affordable for most people. No, let's not do that. Let's go and do this styling thing that isn't all of that, and then charge $1 million for the dang car.
Well,
There was a lot of engineers spent a lot of money to get an education to build that car.
and they're young engineers. They're the millennial type engineers that are building these things nowadays. Look at what's coming out of the factories, people. Look. Don't argue with me.
You can't even put anything electric in that. It has no future.
Are they going to? I don't think
No,
so.
they're not. When that car's done, it's done, brother. All right,
Okay.
take that.
Yeah.
The In-Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com.
Oh, boy.
Podcasts are available on your favorite podcast channel. The In-Wheel Time Car Show continues
Push the
right
button.
after this break. Stay with us.
Winning the highest sales satisfaction award among all luxury brands from J.D. Power in 2020 tells you everything you need to know about your Lincoln purchase from Bayway. Bayway Lincoln is where a premium buying experience is a priority, and you're invited to feel it yourself. This Houstonian-owned premier dealership is managed by Lincoln Stahl, a seasoned member of the Bayway family. If it's online, in person, or in your own driveway, Bayway gets you to the luxury level you deserve. Bayway Lincoln is on the Gulf Freeway at Fuquay, just inside Beltway 8. Visit BaywayLincoln.com today. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In-Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place.
Yes.
Coming up, more guests from today's remote broadcast here at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the fabulous Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy, Texas.
Yes.
Jeff has the car clinic. I'll have this week's auto news and more. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin.
We do.
And the mysterious Jeff Heitzman.
Yes.
He's hiding behind the post over there.
We need to get shirts that say "Need more Jeff."
And then, no,
Yeah.
because he can't wear that.
No, and then
No, because you're the need more Jeff.
and then we'll give them away at the events.
Really?
No, I don't.
Then you buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can get a marker. And
A
you just-
marker,
You wear a
that-
white shirt, and I'll write "Need more Jeff" on your shirt.
Like,
Autograph it.
like a
Like an autograph.
Yeah.
like an autograph.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
All
I'll
right.
sign your baby's bottom and all that.
All right, Mr. Mars.
So, Stan introduced me to this gentleman, our next guest. We've had this big 3,500 Ram sitting out here. It's lifted. It's got a lot of things done to it sitting out here. I personally like it. One thing, it's white. I love the white vehicle
Yep.
look. And so that is Steve Wells is the driver of that vehicle. Now, Steve happens to also be the president of New World Auto Transport. So, in addition to having this vehicle out here, he's also the person that helps move vehicles around the country. Stan's used him several times, like when he's bought cars like the Pontiac and stuff, when he's bought it out from another state, and it's got to be transported down into here. Well, this is who you can go to.
So, in other words, if I buy a car from Waukesha, Wisconsin,
Yes, sir.
You're my man.
I am.
And so, do you actually personally go up there and bring it back?
No, sir. No, sir. I sit in the office in a nice, cool, air-conditioned shop and offices and surrounded by pretty ladies, and I send someone up there to get it.
Okay,
So
that's
she-
the end. That's it.
speaking
That's
of which,
it.
she drives it.
No,
He's
that's
done.
the end of the interview
Yeah,
right
you're
there.
done.
No, we
You're
don't want
done.
any more of
Yeah.
that.
In addition to him being the president of the company, we also have the CFO is here.
What?
And so I thought we would add her into the conversation.
We're just going through the chain of command here.
That's my wife,
No,
Daisy.
guess what?
My
Guess-
boss.
Listen, I was just going to say, she's not the CFO. She is the president and chief executive officer.
So it says here on the card, it should be Daisy. That's what it is.
It's Daisy.
Yes, she is the boss, I tell you.
Yeah, and well, good choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
She keeps us all in line.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so back to the original question. You sit in the office, so you contract these trips and pickups and deliveries?
Absolutely. The majority of what we do is all brokering, and I've been, since I own New World vans and trucks back through the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Oh, interesting.
And so being in the van and truck conversion business for 26, 27 years.
It's coming back.
Yeah, no kidding.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, you can't even imagine the amount of sprinters, the sprinter
I
vans.
know.
We work for a company up in San Antonio called LCW, and they build the limo sprinters.
Yeah.
And, $175,000 to $250,000 vehicles. And you cannot get enough. There's not enough sprinters on the market to feed the need.
Yeah.
For all the conversion vans and specialty stuff that like we used to do at New World.
And let me just interject this: the fact that these new vans that are post your era,
Yep.
the new ones,
Yep.
oh my God, with flat load floors that are next to the ground like a car.
Yeah, it's
front
amazing.
end- yeah.
Yeah, it's
I can
amazing.
only imagine what the conversion on that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, you could build a house inside there.
I'm trying
No,
to think
it's
of
a good-looking stuff.
the conversions of vans and even SUVs before that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember the name of it. Mike, you might know. It was Legacy? Was it Legacy?
Well, you had
conversions?
Legacy, you had Anaheim,
Anaheim,
you had
that's
Good
what I'm
Times,
thinking, yeah.
Explorer, all those guys. And when I had New World vans in Bel Air, we were the warranty center for the majority of all the.
You had a big lot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
You-
I
you
used
were
to have that old lumber yard right there on Bissonnet.
Yes. You were a
Stone-
customer of mine when I was with Keystone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, New World vans, 26 years. We spent 9 of those years in the bulletproofing business. And I used to build all the special ops vehicles for Houston Police Departments and SWAT. And we used to do all the homicide forensics labs, narcotic surveillance, you name it, we built it. So, through all that time, we got really familiar with all the car dealerships and all over the country because we were delivering our product and stuff. So I was actually in the transport business back then, had our own trucks and also facilitated a lot of the contractors and stuff too to deliver our product. But after I sold New World back in 2000, I saw this huge need, for dealer to dealer networking, moving inventory around, which, that's
Well, the
that's our-
celebrity.
Huh?
Oh, the celebrity.
and we do a lot of celebrity transport.
Vanessa.
Yes, we do like all the now what we do, and it's especially since this pandemic, the dealer network has been fed by the sell-off of all the rental cars throughout the nation.
Yes.
So once all the rental cars were sold off, it just stimulated the pre-owned market. And as you know now, you can't get new cars. I mean, most
You can't get used cars
yeah,
anymore.
tough
Yeah.
deal. And if you do, you're going to pay a whole lot for them. You know. But no, it's what's amazing is these dealerships, the larger name dealerships on I-10 and 59, they usually have 600, 700, 800 new cars on the lot.
Yeah,
a lot of them are sitting on 50, 60,
They're
70
down a couple
cars.
dozen right now. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple dozen. So this the positive that come out of it is naturally the stimulation with all these pre-owned and
So you're transporting cars everywhere.
it's
Let me
unbelievable.
Let me ask you this about your business. Since you're a broker, do you worry about guys that like fly-by-night guys that go, "Hey, I can transport that car," and the reason I say that is because I watched that show.
I remember that.
Where they bid
Yeah.
on transporting jobs. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Bidding wars.
I
or
want
something.
that guy, but I don't want that guy transporting by stuff. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I mean it's definitely a vetting system. I mean we we're a brick and mortar store, so we've got compliance, we've got dispatch coordinators. We've got all the personnel in-house.
We have our own GPS in our office.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so you track the vehicles.
A lot of them we do.
Yes, we do. I do everything.
Wow.
Of course you do.
But no, it's it's something that most of the carriers that we use repetitively.
Right.
So if you're talking about enclosed transport,
Yes.
we're transporting, and right now, like the exotics are really hot, and classics are hot, but there's a lot of car movement. No matter what, it's getting moved.
You don't know what's going down the street because they're enclosed trailers.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yep.
it could be a load of steel, or it could be a whole load of really exotic, expensive cars,
And
millions of dollars.
When
worth.
you see when I see a reliable transport,
Yep.
I know there's a hot rod in it.
Well, those are McCollister's reliable. Those are the big boys, and I'll tell you right now, the biggest thing is there's so much activity, migration activity, like California, for example. When the start of the pandemic, we
Quadruple.
yeah,
Really?
basically
Yes.
quadruple our business, especially out of California, and it's the enormous amount of cars, people just pulling up stakes, moving to Texas.
Yes.
Give you an example.
Austin.
Yeah. Give you an example. There was over 10,000 cars on the load boards coming out of California in 1 to 3 days, 1 to 10 days at the start of the pandemic. And that was a lot of the pre-owned cars and that were being sold off. But
Is California about to fall into the ocean?
I think it
Yes.
is. So
They're coming here.
Yeah, I know.
And they're buying our houses.
Yes.
So that's why I bought a lot of lands. I just bought a commercial land.
You talk about houses. My wife the other day says, "Can you take me somewhere expensive?" I took her to a lumber yard.
yeah, no kidding. There you go. No, it's really crazy how they've driven all the people coming to Austin and Georgetown and surrounding areas. Just our housing market here. We've seen it go up a couple $100,000 in the last couple of months.
Yes.
It's something else.
Not only the moves, not only the homes that you're talking about, but there are folks still building hot rods. They're still
Yes.
doing turnkey on these vehicles that we
Yeah,
see out
yeah,
here. We've
yeah.
had a few guests that are building their own, that have their own shops, that have their own things going on. So it's not dead.
So
No.
what about you? You have any hot rods, any toys?
I got Ferrari. And
You have Ferrari?
Mercedes-Benz. Yes.
Yeah, we got a Viper. Got the Viper sitting. She wanted to bring the Viper today.
And notice when he says that, he's got that little bit of a smile on his face. Yeah, I got a Viper. I got a Ferrari.
She's got the
or-
Ferrari.
Yeah,
I
she
got
got the
Mercedes-Benz too.
Oh, there you go.
The up convertible.
course.
But I don't. He's my driver, so I drive.
That's it.
Oh, for that?
Yes,
you
I
don't drive
noticed
that.
He's my bodyguard.
I noticed when you rolled up that you were the one that was leaning out the window
Doing
going,
the wave. She was doing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wave.
We noticed
Got
that.
that pageantry wave.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Have you been to Lone Star Throwdown this past year? Or?
No.
No?
No.
You need to go to that.
That's something you need to attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
You guys
Very
talked about it
cool.
earlier, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
so
were there live. and
that's a very interesting rig you've got there. It's a Ram 3500 diesel, Cummins diesel.
Yep.
But it's got a camper back on it, and it's a dually.
Yeah, and that's a one of the first snug tops out of California. Snug top's been around forever,
Yeah. Snug
but that's
top,
one of the
GTs, all
first
them,
smooth snug tops. And then we did the carpet kit.
Fits
and
right
everything
up
on
to the
back.
cab.
Yeah, it's as close as you can get.
Do you have the bladder that goes between the window and
No need.
for pass through?
There's no need.
It's too close, really. You could have that bladder
Yeah.
if you wanted to run AC or something.
I had
back through there.
when I had my Lear on mine, I had the bladder.
Yeah.
And the kids were young; they would just, that was their gig while you're,
Yeah,
you know.
and I
jumping
think
back
Lear and Snug Top are pretty much the,
Yeah, the same
guys.
company,
But
yeah.
no, that's a 21 3500 limited, the new limited, and so we had to wait for BDC
Months
to build.
to get it.
Oh, well, months to get it, but just the parts, the wheels, the lift kit, all that took about 5
chip.
months to get.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did the conversion right down here at Extreme, right here on the freeway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin's
Yeah.
place, and so it was one of the first BDC kits for the 21 because all the geometry and everything's changed, and so. But it's been
did you get
interesting.
the big screen in it?
Not yet. Yeah, it's got the big screen on the dash.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, what a big difference that makes.
Yes.
Yeah, just the
Well,
technology.
the interior of that truck is killer. Have you seen the new Fords?
I have.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, talk about copycats.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. No, they're gorgeous, and they've done for $90,000. They ought to do something, right? It's like,
Exactly.
it's amazing what these new trucks are costing.
Yes, they are.
But
you know what? Look what the new trucks have to offer.
Yeah.
And I mean, the execution is spot on.
It is. It's spot on. I mean, you look at buying a new G-Wagon Mercedes or something for $350,000.
You go, what are they thinking?
You build 2 of those things for that, you know?
You know what you need? You need an electric vehicle.
Yes.
Not.
I don't know.
No.
No.
I told her I'd buy her that new
Tesla?
Hummer, that new Hummer
the
that's coming out.
Hummer.
You got to order that.
You do that.
The one that
Yeah.
crab walks.
Let us know about your range.
You're
anxiety.
behind. You're behind Mike because I think Mike's got his ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're all good with all of that.
Yeah.
So, week to week, is it continuing to go up?
It is. It's we stay so busy. I mean, it's 16-hour days. Again, just with the migration, but now college migration's picking back up, so we're taking all the daughters and sons' cars to college, and you've got a lot of corporate migration, a lot of dealer network. I mean, it's just a conglomerate of everything.
Tillman's family we do personally. Tillman, Farida?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tillman, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Just-
do all their family.
Tillman trusts his daughter for me to transport her stuff
Yeah.
around. So
What the hell is he thinking?
I don't know.
yeah,
Why don't we
I
have
asked
trust
myself.
like that?
But
you need to be trusted with a daughter.
Yeah.
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 But no, it's we do a lot of the NFL.
What is
Wow.
A lot of
pina
NFL
colada.
movement and
I need one.
a lot, all these teams when they go off season. And
Well, that's one thing about your business. Word starts to spread when people can trust you.
Yeah.
And that you do a good job and you say what you're going to deliver. Hey,
Yes.
I'm going to take the car this day, and
Yep.
it's going to be there that
Yeah.
day, and it's not going to be damaged.
lots of
Yeah.
logistics, and it's amazing. You talk about word of mouth and just being out there and people hearing about you, and people like Stan, telling people about you, this and that. But we, when we started, we were spending $25,000-$30,000 a month just in Google. I told Daisy.
You hear that, Mars?
We can help. No, we're going to get a hold of you.
Yeah,
'cause we can help you with that.
Daisy is Google certified. She runs all of our algorithms and everything. But we were spending $25,000-$30,000 a month to make the phones ring, and feed a dozen people in the office. And now it's word of mouth. We've pretty much gone organic, and we just survive off of word
Yeah,
of
all
mouth.
Sonics, AutoNation.
Yep.
Everybody
All these
use-
big
All the
dealerships.
big dealers.
That's
I
good.
got all the credit cards.
Oh. Well, she is a woman.
She is a woman.
There is that, and she is the CFO,
Yeah.
the CEO.
Well,
Yeah.
when you marry a young lady like her, you just got to relinquish everything to her anyway.
Are you just trying to rub it in? Is
Yeah.
that what
you,
you're trying to
are you,
do?
you need something to buy toys again? What's up with that? No. We got already all the toys.
Well, listen, man, it's great to talk to you.
It's good talking to you guys. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, and thanks
Thank
for
you. Thank
explaining
you.
all of it to us.
Yeah.
And what is the biggest, largest item that you have moved?
Well, we moved
My mother-in-law.
Airplane,
We've moved a couple airplanes, a
Airplanes.
couple helicopters, stuff like that. But
for the
Yeah.
Jaffe, the
Oh.
Horseshoe Bay. Yeah.
Wow.
so we will move anything. Our logo says if it has wheels, we'll move it.
Yeah.
And so
Well, now it doesn't have to. It's
Yeah.
got blades on it. We'll
motor
move it.
motorhomes, whatever, we'll move it. But guys, thank you again for inviting us on,
appreciate
and
it.
we
Yeah,
appreciate you
absolutely.
guys.
Thank you. It's
And
New
anybody
World.
needs us, New
I
World
need
Auto
to be
Transport, Katy,
advertising your
Texas.
company every
Yes,
day.
you do.
I need to do that.
Yep, we'll
Okay.
Yeah.
be in
We
touch.
need to-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, we hope to see you again.
Guys,
Yes,
enjoy your
thank you
weekend.
so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate you
You bet.
guys.
All right,
Thank
time
you.
now for the car clinic. Let's do the car clinic, shall we?
Okay.
No, not we. You.
Well, I've got This Week in Auto History. I
Oh,
think he-
yeah, we
he
could do
has-
that too.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah. Is it on your phone?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Look
This is
at you. all-
technology,
I'm
baby.
just going to say.
This is technology,
Unbelievable.
baby.
All right. Well, we're waiting. Just go right ahead.
I gave him one of mine. Yeah, I gave her. Yeah.
Just go ahead. Let's
Oh,
focus
hold on a
on
second.
that.
Let me,
Yeah.
let me pull this up. I
Yes.
gotta get Mr. Conrad here.
I'm sorry. I didn't
There you
mean
go.
to.
That's all right. So this week in auto history, we have to wish a 94th happy birthday to the great who? Gene Winfield. Gene
94,
Winfield
Gene.
is 94 in 1927. So happy birthday, Mr. Winfield. We love you. You are just a living legend in automotive history.
He is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on this date, Saab introduced his first car, the model 92001, the Saab prototype. Saab has been primarily a supplier of the military aircraft before and during World War II. Maurice Ali was the Chevrolet's engineer-in-chief, completed the chassis and code-named it Opal for the eventual use in the 1953 Corvette. So all that happened on that day as well. In 1954, General Motors announced its research staff had built the GM Turbo Cruiser, a modified GMC coach powered by a gas turbine, which I think is very cool. You've seen those in a lot of commercials and History Channel type things. 1977, and this is for Conrad because Conrad sent this to me. 1977, what is it, Conrad? The Oldsmobile builds over 1 million cars. No trucks, just cars. So thank you for that, Conrad. 1978, Ford Motor Company Chairman Henry Ford II fired Lee Iacocca. You're fired. From the position of president, ending a bitter personal struggle between the two men, which very bitter, and it still goes on today even though they're not living. 1979, Paul Newman, the blue-eyed movie star turned race car driver, accomplishes the greatest feat of his racing career on this day in 1979. What was it? He roared into a second place in the 47th annual 24 Hours of Le Mans, the famous endurance race held annually in where? Le Mans, France.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
And that's it for this week in auto history. The end. Thank you, Conrad, for helping me out with that. As you know, I'm taking Conrad's place today, and love you, Conrad.
He's going to California.
I
How
know.
much do you
Oh,
really
I thought he was
love
already
it?
gone.
Yeah, he is.
I think that he left this morning.
Yeah.
Like Ainsley.
Well, Ainsley
Everybody
left for the
bailed
other
on.
guy.
Everybody bailed on
I
Saturday
know.
morning.
You know what? I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Group
Go
of
on,
seven
go.
nations backed away from plans to set a target for making sure most new cars sold are greener vehicles, instead pledging only to speed up efforts to move away from combustion engines. In the final communique last Sunday, the bloc included an autos section that was far more modest than earlier versions being discussed. It pledged to do more to electrify the transport sector, but did not set firm target dates. Yay.
Yay.
The accelerating e-commerce trend is placing more pressure on delivery and logistics companies to compete with the likes of Amazon. FedEx and Nuro said Tuesday they will test autonomous multi-stop and appointment-based delivery here in Houston. In April, Nuro partnered with Domino's for robotic pizza delivery here. Nuro also piloted an autonomous delivery service with Kroger and tested prescription delivery with CVS Pharmacy.
Wow. That's technology there.
It is. It is. Thank you. Self-driving truck technology company Too Simple Holdings said Wednesday it will open a new Texas facility that will enable it to put trucks to work hauling freight on the roads of southeastern U.S. states within 6 months. The company, which outfits its trucks with self-driving technology, is opening a new terminal in Alliance, Texas, to serve the Texas Triangle, an area that includes Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, adding 3,000 miles to its network. So the next 18-wheeler you see blowing by you could be driverless.
Yeah, I like the Bermuda Triangle.
Autonomous freight services run on fixed routes between predefined points, mostly on major highways without intersections or pedestrians, requiring less mapping than shuttling customers between random points in robo-taxis. FedEx and robotics company Nuro this week announced plans to test self-driving vehicles in the package delivery company's network, starting with another pilot program here in Houston.
Can I ask a question? So these are driverless vehicles, driverless delivery vehicles. Are they electric or are they combustible?
I don't know.
And if they're electric, who's plugging it in?
That's not the story.
And then the question is who's unloading it?
Yeah.
Along the way.
There's a lot of questions I have.
I guess that
I
it
have
rings
questions.
the doorbell from the curb and you come out and get it.
Well, I guess I guess it could notify. I have no idea, but I'm just thinking coming down 35 from Dallas through Austin.
Is
a nightmare now.
It's in the middle
What's
of the
it
day.
going to be like when you got a bunch of trucks out there with nobody driving them?
Who are you gonna flip
Plugging
off?
it up some more.
Who are you gonna flip the bird to if there's nobody in there?
An explosion caused a large fire to break out early Monday morning at ChemTool lubricant manufacturing plant in northern Illinois. Now, this may not mean much to you, but it prompted evacuations and left the future of the facility in question.
Wow.
All 70 employees got out without injuries. The cause under investigation. Spokesman for Lubrizol, ChemTool's parent company, said the situation at the plant was evolving. Lubrizol has facilities down along the Houston Ship Channel.
Lubrizol makes a cream coating that you can put on your tires. That's probably one of the best.
A cream coating?
A cream coating.
Is it edible or?
You mean like a tire black?
It's like a tire. It's like a tire shine, but it's
Lordstown Motors. Remember this startup?
Mm-hmm.
Lordstown, which recently raised questions about its ability to remain in business, said on Thursday it did not have any binding purchase orders or commitments from customers. That U-turn comes after President Rich Schmidt on Tuesday said at an Automotive Press Association event in Detroit that the company did have firm and binding orders for the first 2 years of production of its electric pickup truck. Hello?
But
Does
no,
the left hand
they
know
don't.
what the right hand is doing? Apparently not.
Somebody
Shares
check the
of
bank records.
This is one of those that, raised billions and billions of dollars.
Yep.
Well, shares of the company fell 2.5% to $10.51 in morning trading. On Monday, just after the company said it may not have enough money to stay in business over the next year, CEO Steve Burns and CFO Julio Rodriguez resigned. Resignations came as the company acknowledged making statements about vehicle pre-orders that did not hold up to scrutiny following an internal investigation into claims made by short seller Hindenburg. Well, that should be a tip-off right there.
Yeah.
Company named Hindenburg.
Yeah.
And the short seller.
Didn't that go down in flames
Yeah,
at
the
some
hydrogen
point?
company, wasn't it?
Something. And we finish this segment with crash rates have jumped in some states that have legalized recreational use and retail sales of marijuana.
Wait. This is my shock look. I've been practicing it.
But drivers who use marijuana alone were no more likely to be involved in
again.
crashes than drivers who hadn't used the drug, studies show. We have more of the In Wheel Time show. We're going to wrap up today's show
more.
right after a quick break.
We all know about aftermarket and online parts stores, and each one has something to offer, but they don't offer original factory parts. That's where Bayway comes in. For original factory parts, visit the Bayway stores first. Give them a call or stop by. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln carry a complete line of parts for the do-it-yourselfer. Keeping your newer classic original means a lot, and you can count on these fully stocked parts departments to help keep it that way. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, July 17th at 2 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, July 17th, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Hey, before we say goodbye, I did want to mention to you that there is an asphalt circle track race here in Houston that is coming up on July the 3rd. And it is presented by Gulf Coast Racing Series. It's at the 3/8 mile asphalt track called Houston Motorsports Park. Tickets are $15. Kids are $5. Seniors and vets, I think, are $10. I'm not exactly sure.
There's a
$1 hot
discount.
dogs, $1 beer. So you'll get to see Pro Trucks, Modifieds, Outlaws, Eco Stocks, Super Stocks. I think the NASCARs will be there and the Legacy cars as well. It's a full racing series. We haven't had races in a couple of months because the last one got rained out. So keep that in mind. We encourage you to come out and support your local asphalt track racing series. It's the only one in the state of Texas. Now, there are dirt tracks, and they have a lot to offer as well. But if you are a fan of the asphalt tracks like I am, I invite you to come out. Personally, I invite you to come out.
I've been there with you, and it is fun.
It is tons of fun, and the program, the gates open at 5, racing starts at 6 o'clock, and most of the nights that they have the event, it's all over and done with at 9:30, so you can get home at a decent hour and be able to get up and go to church on Sunday.
It is so structured, but it's structured in a positive way where there's no lag of, oh gosh, is this going to really happening? So here we go.
Yep. So that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share your junk, and our junk too. You'll get Conrad's Unicorn hunting features all week long, along with all things automotive. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available from your favorite podcast outlet. Special thanks today to Tailpipes and Tacos Executive Director Stan Holt and all of our guests.
Thank you,
special
Stan.
thank you to Jeff Heitzman for his knob twisting and engineering skills.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our Marketing Manager and Video Technical Director, we need more Jeff Zekin.
There you go.
For Booking Agent and Podcast Man, Mike Out of This World Mars, and his royalty king Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Be sure and join us each and every Saturday for our 3-hour live broadcast across a multitude of audio and video streaming platforms right here on the ever-popular and famous Smoke and Mirrors Network.
That's right.
Today's show was produced by Jim Morrison. Mark your calendar to join us next Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. for another live broadcast from the confines of Studio A in Texas, USA. And yes, it's air conditioned. So long for now. Have a super cool weekend. We'll see you next week.